Let them do as they please.
Good numbing. Hello YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to day 2 of 4.6. Last time we did a fair amount of exploring, did Arlecchino's story quest, and managed to actually roll her and one constellation weapon. Could have been a lot more if we didn't lose like every fucking 50-50, but what can you do? But today, I haven't fully built Arlie yet. I'm nowhere near close actually, because I need to fight the boss another at least like 10 times because I know my luck. I need to fight a lot more of the golems because there's really not much, and I've been working on the artifact set, but it's nowhere near finished. I want to try and get a different version of this, but I haven't had much luck yet, and I want to try and get a different version of this. In fact, I'm still debating whether I want it to be crit rate or crit damage. I kind of want to wait until I've maxed out the weapon and Arlie and then look at it, because her weapon boosts her crit rate and her default leveling boosts her crit damage. So I'm kind of waiting to like see what I've maxed up to kind of see where her stats kind of land before I figure out which direction I want to go with that. Because if I look at it now, look, she's at crit rate 60% and crit damage 118. But keep in mind, that's with this adding 31 to it. So if I take that off, that's like just under 30%. Which is not good at all. So like, I am still working on the artifact set. I just need, honestly, just need better bloody luck. Because the crit rate one, that's the only crit rate one I've managed to get. And look at the substats for it. Energy recharge, defense plus 24%. Yeah, you can tell which one I got all the time. HP and then only a little attack. But I'm working on it. I need literally hourglass of attack on it. I haven't got a single one because fuck my luck. That one I'm kind of happy with. I got good crit damage on it. This I'm pretty happy with. I got good crit damage on it. I got too many HP buffs, but I'll take what I can get. It's just this, and it's just this one. I kind of want to get a reroll because the substats aren't great, and this one. Also, hi, one man. Hope you're doing well. I am a wind of destruction. Anyway, let me swap her off because she's not built. I just wanted to. Oh, oh no, she wants to. She's getting impatient. Fun fact: this is technically the longest idle because she stays in this chair for like 50 seconds. So you can literally just let her like vibe in her throne, and she'll just stay there. But I digress, let me swap her out. Can we get Hu Tao in?
Good eye.
Anyway, last time we got Arlecchino's quest all wrapped up. So today... Oh, I haven't been to my teapot. Doing alright, recording my playthrough of the story, listening to the hot wind blowing. Oh, fair. You know, I'll do my plants first, before we go over there. Just give it time for it to warm up and get back into the rhythm of it. For today. Also, I'm glad I delayed Library of Ruina to tomorrow, because even though it comes out today, it clearly doesn't come out at midnight, like midnight past today, because it's not available to purchase yet. So I'm glad I decided not to stream it today, because I would have been screwed anyway. I wouldn't have been able to. I would have had to wait. But then, speaking of releases, I could talk about it on stream, because I haven't spoken about it on stream. Last night, we finally got a 2-page spread on for Mitsu, and we got the website unlock for the next Death End Request game, the spin-off, which has been renamed from Code Xeon to Code Z. But it's still a spin-off. It's interesting. It's roguelike, but it's like a top-down grid-based kind of game. So it's kind of similar to, like, if anyone's ever played any of the Mystery Dungeon games, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of like that, but roguelike. So I'm kind of curious how it will play. If it is like Mystery Dungeon, then I know I'll love it, because I fucking love Mystery Dungeon.
This realm...
And they said that the game is got the highest age rating in Japan. Well, it's a spin-off. In the same way Fairy Fencer F had a spin-off that was a tactical RPG. Death End 3, when that drops, is still going to be, you know, like turn-based RPG. At least I assume it will be. Unless you're talking about the title, in which case, who knows. Yeah, I actually love the Fairy Fencer spin-off. Yeah, I still have, like, yet to even remotely acknowledge it. Like, it's just... maybe at some point I'll give it a go, because I do like the Fairy Fencer F cast and characters and whatnot, but I'm just like, fucking, oh god. It's not that I hate tactical RPGs, it's that I firmly know they just aren't my thing. The ones I've enjoyed have always been the absolute exception and not the rule. I'm not a fan of the Duck spin-off name change. Yeah, I can kind of get that, because Code Xeon, it's like Code Z sounds a bit more generic. It's like Plan Z. It's like fucking the SpongeBob movie all over again. Oh, fair enough. So I do want to try it at some point. It's just, you know, convincing myself to, because I'm just like... But yeah, but that drops in September in Japan. No word on its Western release. I can't stress enough, the biggest thing I want Idea Factory to get better with is Western releases compared to Japanese. And what I don't mean as in, like, you know, how they handle it or whatever. I mean as in, like, how long you have to wait. Because it really, like, it really feels like, look, just to, like, don't have the game come out in Japan until it's ready worldwide. Having it hit every market at once compared to it, like, hitting each market individually after a set period of time just isn't cool. It just isn't, it was never slick, don't keep it. Oh, well, I love the game. Some things about it really irritate me. Oh, fair enough. Anyway, we need to head into the center. I was just doing one more glance around because I saw there were some chests I missed. I did try and explore around the edge to try and find more things, but I know I'm missing a couple things. Oh, have I got the treasure chest out of you? I don't think I've ever been up here to check. Hang on, it'll be easy if I just do that. I guess I have. First. There are many Japanese series that make sure their game released worldwide nowadays. Idea Factory is like one of the only studios that still have it released like 9 months later than the rest of the world. It doesn't stick anymore. Well, one of their caliber, which I should probably specify. Because they're not like indie and they're not like super low budget AA. They do they're not AAA, but they're not as like they're not like super bottom of the rug budget wise. They have the money to wait and pace things out. Localizations are expensive, fam. Yeah, and you'll get it back by releasing a worldwide release. They have the money. Especially considering that they do like licensed game work as well, all the time. They have money. So they're not AAA standard, but they're sure as shit not broke. How are we... What does it want me to do with these? Keep in mind, like, most... Well, not all of them. I know, like, there was one recently that they didn't do. But there's, like, a Demon Slayer spin-off that they did. There was a mobile game that was, like, a licensed one as well that they were involved with. Like, there are a few things that they do that, like, pays the bills, to put it mildly, that they do on the side. Japan. Yeah, and SVS went on to sell pretty decently well in the West. And I'm curious how much better it would have done if it wasn't like, it came out in Japan, and then a few months later, so I went, oh yeah, right, Western release, that's a thing. Or if you can't at least do that, for the love of fucking God, why is there still a delay from UK or European releases from American release? That one I absolutely doesn't have an excuse for. That one I'm just tired of, 'cause it's just like, the digital market exists. For the love of God, you know? The digital market exists. I don't have to wait until it's ready physical. You can just release it digitally, please. Also, I think I got too close to plot. Yeah, I did. That was like the most annoying thing. The amount of times, and Idea Factory still do this, where it's like, oh yeah, it releases on this date, and then look at the European store, and it's like a week after they said, and I'm like, I swear to God, why does it still happen? The only time it paid off is that Death and Request 2 was supposed to release in the UK 2 days after the American release. I ordered it online from the European store. It arrived a week early. So I had it even like before it was out in the US. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. That one was like, it paid off sometimes. Back when I would buy directly from Idea Factory, when I wanted to buy a new Idea Factory game, I'd just get it from the European store, and I'd tend to get them either on the day or early. I'd never get them late. Speaking of that, though, when Code Z has, like, the, like, European pre-orders, I'm absolutely, like, banking that collector's edition. Because I've got Death End 1 and 2's collector's edition, so I want eventually to have 4 steelbooks next to each other, and it's Death End 1, 2, Code Z, and 3. Anyway, I'll get back to that little event thing that I tried to do in a second. I got too close to the plot quest. Such warm ocean currents. Free at last. Well now, little ones, hail you from the surface. I know not for what reason you have come to this deep water prison, but... We aren't little anything. You're just way too big. Ha, very well. Either way, you have broken the shackles that have bound me for millennia. That places me in your debt. If there is any undertaking in which I may aid you, then speak. Consider it a token of my gratitude. Paimon knew you'd be a reasonable guy. Anyway, Paimon's name is Paimon, and she's Emmy, and this is... actually, Paimon's not sure what you know him by, but we call him Monsieur Oz. Ah, Cassiodor. It is you. It has been a while. Sorry, I had like a scratch in my throat. So you come back after all, but still, you are sadly late by a few thousand years, no less. It was so cute in the Japanese. Oh, yeah, it's wild, like, for her to actually have, like, speaking lines in Ali's quest. It's nice, because for once it wasn't just, like, 1 or 2 stray lines in an Archon quest. It was a story quest where she goes, no! Think about this, you know? Oh, it's like the big guy knows you, Monsieur Oz. I'd like to say to despicable traitors. Speak not so rashly, mortal. We are dragonborn. We keep our promises and betray none, which is more than can be said for your haughty race. Save your breath. It is worth... Oh, what was the voice I gave him yesterday? It was kind of snobby, but not quite. It was like... Save your breath. It is worth less than a drowning mouth mayfly. Your betrayal is undisputed. Were we not defeated in that war precisely because you turned against us? We hadn't lost that war. Our nation, the Sebastos, wouldn't have... you've been gone far too long, Cassiodor. The truth is not what you imagine. Though I suppose that a secret plan would not have been secret if its details reached your ears. Secret plan? My leading an army of bishops to assault the capital was in fact part of Remus's final secret plan. And he did this to save the nation and people, a man of great moral character. That sounds preposterous. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Why would a ruler ask someone else to invade their own country? And what, little one, would one such as you or I know of Remus's thoughts? Whatever the case, look upon this, Cassiodor. Even you should be able to divine its meaning. The guiding golden bees. They should only heed to the call of the symphony. Why would the Sebastos bestow his power upon a savage dragon? Because they had an arrangement? Oh, you know much, little one. Where did you learn that? From memory scattered in the sea. You speak correctly. Yes, indeed, we did have an arrangement, but I failed him. I squandered his noble sacrifice. I could not make it to the Dominus Aurea in time, and so the waves devoured the whole city, and my kindred could not escape either. How could such a thing be? If it is betrayal you speak of, then Boethius was the true traitor. Were it not for that lying devil, the deceitful rat, and his silver-tongued deceptions, how could a prince among dragon kin such as I, who once led our armies after the age of the ancient dragons, have been beaten so easily? The devil first falsely claimed to have given up resistance on Remus's orders, seeing he had ordered the legions to cease resistance. Yet when we arrived here, he suddenly rose up against us. Now that I have had much time to think on it, I fear he must have learned of Remus's plans somehow, and thus was able to set up an inescapable trap to lure me in step by step. And thus did my flesh and blood turn to stone, and thus did it remain for millennia to this day when you rescued me. Boethius knew perfectly well what a massive calamity his actions would bring about, yet he still... Could he have been trying to seize control over Phobos? Was that why he committed such sins? Seems like we don't have the full story yet. So the guy who keeps calling others traitors was actually a traitor through and through? You mean he was... projecting? Where have I heard this one before? But why, though? We're gonna have to ask him. Paimon doubts we'll get a straight answer. Said Lawson. What the fuck? Recalcitrants? Recalcitrants? The fuck? Just call him a bitch! Please! Just say, oh, that fucking bitch. Just please, someone! Demon 1 has yet to dissipate, has he? Yeah, and he's stolen the souls of a whole bunch of Fontanians too. Rescuing them is actually the main reason we're here. He said that he'd wait for us within Domus Aurea. Well, he just said he'd wait for Monsieur Oz, so we're coming along uninvited. Not even leaving a door. How rude of him. The Initium Iani. Though feeble tricks and smokescreens have been set to dismay us, but at the end of the day is nothing more than a glorified stone door. I may have lost my physical body, but it is no great labour to take the little ones over to settle the matter. Watch closely, little ones. Am I about to get yanked? Or do I need to do something with that? Oh, you're pretty reliable, huh, big guy? Hey, big guy. Hey, little guy. Sorry. I played through Sonic Adventure recently. I got the song in my head. Now, we simply need to break these revealed seals one by one. If you are prepared, then let us go. Because I did the PS3 port of Sonic Adventure, and word to the wise, if you can play any version of Sonic Adventure, don't fucking play the PS3 one. Oh my god. The PS3 one is easily the worst version I've played of Sonic Adventure. It's like, oh wow, like, I love this game, because it's a childhood classic, but holy shit, this port sucks. The PS3 port of Adventure 1 is awful. It lags out all the time, the music randomly cuts out. It gets stuck on load screens for like way too long. I'm like, this is a Dreamcast game. How is it getting stuck so long? Voice clips don't always load properly. The game is rendered at 480p with an overlay on it, so it's not actually in HD, but because it's in 480p, they make it match screen scale, so it doesn't actually fit on the screen. The border around the box you can see the screen in circles the entire thing because it takes up such a small amount of screen space. So the only way to make the box bigger is to actually have your TV running at a lower pixel count. Like, if you make your TV, like, run at 480p, then the box fills the border. If you make it at 720p or 1080, the box gets smaller and smaller on your screen. I was just like, bruh! Oh, and the pause menu lags. And I've never played a version of the game that has that. And I'm like, what the fuck? That was so weird. I pressed the pause button, tap down, and then it would go down a bit. I was like, what the fuck happened with the PS3 port? I still, finished the whole game because I'm a sadist, and at some point I want to try and 100% it, because even though there's not a platinum for Sonic Adventure 1, I've always wanted to try and get all 130 emblems and have it on one save file, like a personal accomplishment, because emblems essentially in Adventure 1, 2, Heroes, and technically 06, even though they call it something different in 06, they give you an emblem for every single level you beat, every single A rank you get, and every single time trial you beat. In Sonic Adventure 1, every level has 3 missions, but there's also 12 emblems hidden in the overworld, and there are mini games that have differing amounts. Like there's a mini game where you have to ride a snowboard down a sandy mountain called Sand Hill, and beating it gets you an emblem, but beating it with over 10,000 points gets you a second one. And there's 130 emblems total in the first game. There's like 210 in Adventure 2, and I'm like, But it's something that I've always wanted to do, is get all the emblems. Like 06 has something different. It has the Soliana medals, like the silver medals and gold medals, and that one is the one that I don't think I'll ever entertain doing, because it's Sonic 06, and you have to S rank every level, beat every hard mode variant, and beat every single side quest. And I'm like, no, no. I do Path of Least Resistance if I ever play 06. Anyway, you gotta try break the seals. Well then, Monsieur's, you ready? Now it has come to this, we have little choice. Alright then, what about you, Emmy? Ready? I need just a moment. Of course, gird yourself sufficiently and then let us go. I want to do that one marker I saw. Does it put me back near it? There it is. Oh, I've got to fucking find it again now, haven't I? Oh, an archery challenge underwater? Fuck, of course. Okay, you're gonna head over there, which will hopefully awaken this and get me my loot. Nice. Nearly. Oh, and also I did a little bit of like deep sea diving exploration as Arlecchino, and I was like, oh yeah, right, she's not actually a Fontaine native because she doesn't get any of like the Fontaine bonuses. If you're playing as a Fontaine native when you swim, they don't drain stamina as quickly, like inherently, but like some characters have extra bonuses. But the ultimate one is that when you surface from the water, Fontainians will they won't just surface, they will actually like dive out the water like a dolphin, which allows you to just travel quicker. And I'm like, oh man, it'd be so great to be able to travel around quicker with someone on my main team. And nope. Because Arlie's not a native. She was raised in Fontaine, but she's not a native. Alright, let's go. Oh, we're moving. There isn't much time. Keep up, little ones. Oh, is this going to be another music thing? Oh, that was close. How dangerous. Because this world quest seems to have a theme of being very music-orientated, which I live for. It is dangerous here. Stray not too far from me, for I shall protect you. Use a button to make her shatter the stone. Ah, that was close. Yes, it's definitely music themed. Listen to this build up. Going through the rings is in sync with the music. And the Kino fight was amazing. Absolutely. Arlecchino's boss fight is amazing. I love it. It's not as, like, overly flashy and grandiose as some fights, but it's a hell of a skill check. Now I figured out how the Bond of Life mechanic works when you're fighting against her. The fight is nowhere near as hard as I made it look last time, but it is still a really fun fight. Because essentially all you need to do is you can heal off your own Bond of Life, and then you just need to hit her with a charge attack. Once your Bond of Life is gone, just charge attack her and you get the bonus. You just need to get rid of it of everyone, so if multiple party members are inflicted with it, you need to heal both of them. Or all of them. But then once you've healed, like, got the Bond of Life off of everyone, which you'll know because there won't be a red symbol on their name anymore, or on their health bar. Took two of my two characters, yeah. Like, once you kind of figure out how the Bond of Life works, or at least survive it if you're being more cautious about it, she's not too bad. It's just if you get caught in the fire, so to speak, when you have Bond of Life especially, she just eviscerates you. Would have been hard about the assist. Yeah. Yeah, I like that in the story one, like, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine do little extras. And you'll hit like 3 times total, yeah. Ah, we're finally here. And there's Dominus Aurea. It looks more like a giant harp, though. Why did your Sebastos construct it like this? Seems completely different from all the ruins above. Yeah, it feels like it only just sunk. Oh, is this the area that I said looked like Penacony yesterday? Of course, this palace was fashioned from a giant ship. It was designed to be a titanic instrument on which the symphony would be played. See these pipes extending outward? Though the symphony now lies broken, this was once how it would be broadcast to the 4 corners of the world. Enkonomiya, I can see it. The whole palace is an instrument? The entire thing? Then wouldn't this entire water body start vibrating if it were to play? We might get blasted apart like tofu if we get too close. You know, Paimon, that's actually vaguely logical. If it's like some giant god instrument, if it rings out, the the reverberations of the water could like beat the shit out of you. That's actually a very fair point, Paimon. What is tofu? Wait, you've never had any Yosei? Then it might be hard to explain. We could always take you to go have some next time. Wait, can cats even eat tofu? The Eternal City, indeed. Remus's will protects this place still, just as I expected. No wonder that brazen, shameless traitor is endured even to this day. I imagine the Boethius owes his survival of time erosion to having laid low in the palaces for a millennia. For all those long years, he gradually mastered the power of Phobos. Well, now that we're here, we should meet up with that rude guy. He might just be shocked to see us, all of you now. In that case, there's Pudways for now. Huh? You're not coming along? You've been a great help already. I was pleased to be of aid, but to tell you the truth, I've no desire to see that one ever again. I wish to never hear a word from that devil's mouth. His words are sham, and shameful are his lies. See that you will not fall for them, sorry. Besides, I could not help you even if I came with you, for I am a temporary occupant of an Ica-made body. Were a battle to be joined, I would have no recourse. Not that I would mind terribly, but no gain would salve the loss of his seizing the symphony that Remus bequeathed onto me. Can no one just talk normally? Everyone has to be old-timely. Let us part here for now, though I cannot aid you in battle. I can use the currents to send you hence. Come to me should you seek such aid. Regardless, let us meet again once you have vanquished the traitor. When that time comes, perhaps I too shall have the chance to make amends for my past regrets. Prince of the Dragon more distant past, and though he has lost his bodily form, you can still command the currents. When you get within a certain distance of him, you can summon high-speed currents to move to his side. Interact with him and ask him to summon intense currents to send you to a target location. If you aim at specific targets for where to go, he might have other things to say as well. Skyler will roam the ocean depths. When you're exploring the sea, he will move accordingly to the body of water you are in. Culture fam, yeah, I know. The third movement. I also like that because it's music themed, instead of saying chapter 1, chapter 2, or like act 1, act 2, it says movements, because, you know, music movements. Anyway, let's stop digging around. Because now we're in this other area. Oh, it's considered underground. I was like, why can't I see the total percentage? Because this is considered all underground. The map layout for this is kind of weird. Like, the chasm overlays itself, and they make it all one layer on the map, just so it's easier for you to identify visually. Just do it with this, you know, because it's visually, like, doesn't feel connected. There, you are free. You are free, my child. Go, unlock me a treasure chest. Is that the only reason you saved me? No. Oh, I just got the notification. An item on your wish list is now available to purchase at the Library Arena. I need to see how much it is. I haven't actually, they haven't, it wasn't pre-orderable, so I don't know how much it is. And if it's like, the game's like 8 years old on PC, so in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be kind of on the cheaper end. If it's like £40, £50, I won't stream it tomorrow because it's just too much money right now. I'd have to wait till next payday. I'm being serious, I'll have to just wait. But I'm hoping it's not. Actually, I could just tell you right now. Give me 1 second. I could just bring up the PlayStation Store. 1 sec. And just tell you right now how much it is. And so I can tell you if I'm playing it or not tomorrow. 28 quid. Fucking Jesus. Yeah, I'll play it. 28 pounds. Ugh. So was it like $32, $33? Bro, the game came out in 2016 on PC. What do you mean? I'll let you guys know if the schedule changes. I should be fine, but I don't want to, like, put myself close to the red financially. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? That looked like I was going to miss that one. I'm glad the game counted it. I was going to be very upset if I had to swim back. Is he still following? Yes, he is. Oh, is he going all the way up here? Does it activate all these plants to then encourage these robot fish things to leave them alone so I can get in? Oh, it's literally a hook. Hey buddy, you too. Think of something! Well, this is like one of those luxury chests in there as well, so we'll get loads. Oh, also, off-screen, I turned in the last reward for the... No, did I do it off-screen? I think I did it on-screen, actually. Was like, for the fountain. So now all I've got to do is get all the Hydroculus, and then we're done trophy-wise with Fontaine entirely, because the next time trophies get expanded will be when Natlan drops in 3 patches' time. Trollfish have it. Yeah, these ones are slightly different. These ones are already like in aggro mode, so they probably do as well, but I have to get them first. Is that free now? Yes, nice. Okay, camera, please. So you can see these ones, their mouths are shut regardless because they're already like in alert mode. And you can't stop time on them because they've got a bubble shielding their motor. But welcome nonetheless. Let me move then so I can start getting them. Bruh. Claire V is so precious. Like wearing skirts and dresses. Well, yeah, that one is, that line was the line I was messaging you about, one man, where it's like, that one, everyone all of the lesbians I know, to put it bluntly, was like, it's like celebrating reading that line, because it's like, oh, she's super, like, masculine, feminine. Like, mask female or mask lesbian. Oh, we're supposed to stop it moving? Hang on. Yes. Oh, there's another one. One's ahead. That's so precious, yeah. What the fuck? Please, Yelan. But my favourite line from the quest, like, to do with that, is still, when Arlecchino first, like, starts explaining about Clervy, and they go, oh, was she a friend? She goes, friend. Oh, yes, we can, like, if she says on online, like, yeah, we can say that for now, and it's like, she was a lot more than a friend. She just doesn't want to talk about it, like, any further than that. Something that, the only thing I kind of wish they, like touched upon a little bit, is that Clervy's personality, from the animated short at least, is, although definitely not identical, there are some traits about her that are comparable to Furina. And I thought they was going to mention that, and maybe that was part of the reason why, alongside other things, Arlecchino was so hard on Furina, because she could see, like, the comparisons and was annoyed that, you know, Furina wasn't doing anything to really change the fate in the same way Clervy was always permanently trying to challenge her fate. But if Furina straight up just didn't show in that quest full stop, it was just like, oh okay. Like, she didn't fucking exist. Oh, I need the resonance. There you are. Maybe it's more of Gina not understanding Furina. But that's what I mean. It would have been interesting to explore that a little more. Oh, we need... Oh, okay, it resets. Awesome. I was gonna say, I hope it comes back. Goal! Oh, God. I can almost guarantee, without even like looking at leaks, Furina will show up in Cloran's story quest, because Cloran was literally Furina's personal guard, like the entire time she was an Archon. So there's going to be connections between them still to this day. Like, she will show up a little bit, or like it'll be like an old habits die hard thing. But even though Furina is now, you know, free to live among the people and isn't the Archon, like, Cloran will still, like, defend or protect or keep an eye on her because it was what she used to do. Or, like, she's duty-bound in her heart sort of thing. Also, Navia needs to show up because it'll be really weird if her girlfriend's not present for her story quest. I'm also curious, like, if 4.8 is going to have any new characters, because the past few .8s haven't. Well, 2.8 had fucking Heisho, and no one remembers that kid. Like, at all. No one remembers that fucking kid. Oh, okay, no, we can't access you. This is back over here. Or whatever his name was, the detective kid. And 3.8 I don't think had anyone, but it's like, I miss when 1.6 had a teaser character for Inazuma, and it's a shame they never did that again. What was that sound? Oh, it was you coming over here. Oh, right. Like, come on, let us have, like, a Natlan teaser character. We got a Fontaine teaser character in Charlotte, but she wasn't playable until after Fontaine was out. Between... I'm not sure a short story about it. Fair enough. Heck, if we wanted to go the extra mile, obviously it would take years, potentially. But you could make a full book out of it, but make the whole story the build-up of the meet. Of the meeting of minds. So how does this work? Oh, it just pulls me to her. Okay. Alright, that's kind of cool. And move on these ways. Taking it easy on myself. That's fair too. I mean, Lord knows I'm no good at taking it slow. I've been working on obviously Demon of Zenelheim, like working on the third draft now, like doing like typo corrections and things like that. But I've already started like putting the pen to paper, like for like planning the early things for the second book. And I'm like, this book is also going to take me like another 3 to 4 years, huh? I should probably like, you know, pace myself a little bit before it like devours me. But I can't help it because I'm excited and in the mood to write it. Because my like Demon of Zenelheim book, my ultimate plan is to make it a trilogy in the end, but each sequel, it's a sequel to the world. It's not a sequel to the characters, because it will be at a different timeline with the world in a different state. With the book trilogy more being like, although the main characters are the main characters and whatnot, by the end of the trilogy, it's the world itself that's the most significant piece, because it's the thing that you've constantly seen evolve and change throughout the course of the trilogy. I'm guessing it's not directly above, I'm guessing it's directly below the Hydroculus. I think I can see it, actually. Third book, even I'm aware of how the process is very slow. I thought it cool about the second book. Yeah, when I wrote, because my previous trilogy that I did before it, that I ended up never publishing, because I ultimately, once I finished the third one, wasn't happy with the first one anymore, and I just never got around to rewriting it, because, at least in my opinion, it's not fun to write what you've already done again, essentially, but now differently with all you've learned. But I do want to do it eventually, but that trilogy, Mary and Vincent, the third book was in my mind and what I wanted to do with it, like, before the second book even went pen to paper. Because the second book, a lot of what the second book was going to help set up pieces of the third, while still, obviously being its own story, so you can enjoy it on its own. But there was a lot of it that was designed to help be a setup for the third. And to be fair, at the time, it paid off. Before, you know, Demon of Zenelheim, it was the book I was the most proud of working on, and the one that I would always kind of like, even on its own afterwards, be like, hey, if there's one book of mine you should read to get an idea of what I'm like, read my third Mary and Vincent book. It'll be a bit different with Demon of Zenelheim, because all of them are going to be like mega big stories on their own. It's just the world itself is going to grow and evolve between them. So it's not like part 1, part 2, part 3. It's 3 individual books that just all happen to take place in the same world. And then you as an audience member get to be like, oh, this town's changed to a city between books. This town doesn't exist anymore because it got destroyed by this war between the books. Things like that. You get to see how it evolved and changed. Well, short twist seems to have learned something. Because the prototype... In fact, the prototype name for my second Demon of Zenelheim book has changed so much. It currently is called Demon of Zenelheim Inheritance. And we'll see if it sticks or if I change it to something else. Because it was originally called the Tears of the Machine, but that was whilst I was still like planning and organizing things, and after a while I was like, what I wanted to do with the machine would work better for a third one, not a second. So I was like, well, why am I still calling this the machine if the machine's not present in it? So I wanted to change its name, and I was like, since a lot of it is the events of the world to the first one affecting how people handle it now in the second one, it's like an inheritance of the world, and so inheritance. She can be metaphorical. Yeah, true. I'm aware, but it's like at least for how I want to do it, it felt like the title, from my very first concept to where I am now, it made less sense to keep the further I went along. And so the title changed. Do you mind that there's fish? It's like, do you mind? I'm busy. Name's Pro as well. Oh, what did you see? Is it because of those three guys? There we go. Right, the first two books, third is going to feature another involving basically drawing from the darkest moment of my life, and to get a story of more oppressive feeling. That's fair enough. But all of the Demon of Xenelheim books, and this will be, hopefully, and we're talking a very long time away yet, because these books taking me a while, something that will stick through the whole trilogy, is that I want all of them to have optimistic, but not necessarily happy endings. Endings where when you look at them, you can see how things are going to get better, but it doesn't always necessarily mean things are okay right now. Like, you can see how things will get better, see how things will develop, see how the people will get a happier path in life as time goes on, but it doesn't necessarily mean everything's as best case scenario as can be. Like, in the present sort of thing. And I want that to have that kind of feeling as well, because ultimately I want it to feel like, yeah, there is always hope there, even if things aren't always the best, or even end the best. But that's been present in literally everything I've ever written, whether I mean to or not. I always tend to have more optimistic looking endings by the end of it, regardless of how dark I get. I've just got better at kind of getting my thoughts together about it as years have gone by, and I've got more experience. Oh, I don't have something to really attack you guys with, do I? No, I do. Like our protagonist been through the worst trials of life, fire imaginable. Yeah, I get that. To be honest, the ultimate almost like, not showing off, but almost like free bragging rights is making a character you know people don't like, and without having to compromise who they are, make them reasonably become likable. Because you know what I mean, where there's times it's like people react poorly to a character, and then suddenly the character behaves kind of different in the next one for no reason. And it's like, it's almost like they wanted you to like them, and now we're panicking, so change them. But no, when it's like it feels deliberate that you're not supposed to like them, but then when you come to understand them better, or you see what they go through, it becomes easier to appreciate them. That's very fucking hard to do right, because you can still easily come away from it, like Akechi in Persona 5, where I still don't like that bitch. I understand him, but it doesn't mean I like him. I still think the way he handles himself is it was the worst way to handle it, and he put himself in his own situation too much. Sympathetic, in other words. Yeah. Because the ultimate example I've been of doing it wrong was the Walking Dead video game series that Telltale did. Season 1 I have a lot of time with, even though I have problems with it. Season 2, there's a character in episode 1 that everyone universally despised, and no one for even a second reasoned with or agreed with. And most people took the option to blackmail her by the end, because she was a bitch. They didn't want you to think like that. They wanted you to sympathize her. They wanted you to see her as kind of cold, but they wanted you to sympathize with her. So what did they do come literally episode 2? Completely fucking change her personality. And it's like, oh, this is not the character we were cussing out literally last part. And that was what I mean. It's like, that was when it was done poorly, because it was really blunt that they just changed the character's personality between episodes because they didn't get the response they were expecting. Yeah, I hear you. Well, my ultimate thing with Akechi is that he wanted to and I can only speak from experience of the original P5 here, so obviously if Royal expands or changes things or just makes him better, awesome. But, base P5, his whole thing being that he ultimately wanted to screw over Shido in one glorious fashion, but he wanted to do it himself, and so became a villain against you solely because you were also doing it, but it wasn't him that was doing it. And it's like, no, you fucking idiot. Help him. Explain to the Phantom Thieves what you were trying to do. Heck, they might even side with you, as long as it's not the whole, you know, hey, I'm also going to kill a bunch of innocent people to make my point. That bit they probably would never have agreed with, but the rest you could have argued. The rest you could have been like, hey, my dad screwed me over all my life. He's also the guy screwing you guys over. Do you want to work together to do something about it? They would have been like, yeah, sure, we can figure it out. But no, he instead went, I must kill the Phantom Thieves because I alone must be the one to deal with this. And it's like, that's when he lost me. He lost me a bit there. So that's the only thing, I mentioned it last stream, that I'm worried about with Metaphor, is that it's the same writer as Persona 3, 4, 5. Like 3, 4, and 5, sorry. And it's like, I'm sure it'll be fine. But he's already, like, the game's already talked about how, like, it plans to talk about, like, race and segregation and whatnot. And I'm like, this guy does not have a good track record of writing them well. In my humble opinion, at least. As it's like, I'm looking forward to Metaphor, and everything I saw in the presentation looks genuinely really good, but there's a couple red flags in there. It's the only way to put it. There's a couple red flags in there that I'm like, I hope it ends up okay. The biggest parts was, at some point during it, they said that your main character comes from a lesser race that's looked down upon, and I was like, okay, sure. And then later on, it went, there are these evil creatures in the world you can find called humans. And I was like, okay. Okay. Nah, Persona, heck, even Persona 1 was pretty good about it. Persona 1 was pretty decent about it. Persona 1 US wasn't, because they literally whitewashed a character and then turned a random other white person black. And it's just like, hey, look, see, we know what we're talking about. We've got it right. And you're like, what the fuck happened here? But the original version of P1 was alright. And Persona 2, it's less about race, it's more about class expectations. But in my opinion, at least, it felt it did a pretty good job of doing it. Whilst at the same time not making it like the main talking point of the game. If that makes sense. Like, they didn't make the whole story about it. It was prevalent within its writing. There was other stuff going on, but you could feel it. It felt like it came from a place of heart. It felt like it was written by someone who had come from like a not so, you know, peachy perfect background and wanted to have a little bit of that appear in the work. So it was just Persona 3 onwards where the teen drama became a little too prevalent and some of the other writing mishaps started to show up. I still like have a deep respect and enjoyment, and I'm never going to take it away. No one can take it away from me, I should say, of those games. But it doesn't mean they're immune of criticism. I love Persona 4, but I could talk all day about the things I don't like about it, or things I wish were better. And it was one of my all-time favorite games, and held that position for literally years on end at one point. And it only changed, like, a few years ago when there was just other games I was playing that I was just like, man, games have really learnt a lot from things that Persona 4 was trying to do. And what doesn't help, and I know, like, it was just the nature of the beast, yada yada, renderware getting taken away, there's only so much they could do, yada, and whatnot. But I genuinely wish more people... Like, even though Golden is the better game in the long run, more people played the original P4. Because the original P4's atmosphere and tone, compared to Golden, is just different. And I genuinely prefer it. And so I know a lot of it is literally just renderware. EA owning the engine and refusing to let anyone use it after the PS2 era literally fucking doomed them. And the PS2 itself had some built-in tricks that allowed for certain visualizations that allowed them to put in more, like, cheap details, if that makes sense. Like, even though it wasn't as high quality, it would look more high quality. A classic example is Silent Hill 3. That game does not look like it's on the PS2, but when you look behind the scenes of how it works, you realize that it's actually just a shit ton of little cheats in the code to make it look better than it actually is. But because it was tied specifically to the PS2, when games get ported off of it, they lose that magic. And the original Persona 4, when you look at side by side of how original P4 looks compared to how P4 Golden looks, it's night and day. Literally, because P4 Golden they crank the brightness way too high. It's super goddamn bright. In Persona 4 original, when the fog came in, you couldn't see shit. And that was the point, because, you know, the fog was supposed to be an omnipresent threat of the entire game. If the fog came in, you couldn't see anything. In Golden, the fog comes in and it's just an effect in the sky and you can still carry on as your business and see exactly what you're doing. Because the fog effects was another thing they used as a cheat within both the renderware engine and the PS2's systems. I don't know why the lighting is way brighter and why they felt like every single building needs to be like shining gold white, but that also only hurts it because you go to like the Shadow World for the first time, go to like Adachi's murder room, and it's like hella bright and golden, and it's like, no, he's murdered 2 teenagers in here. What do you mean? Like, why is it like bright and colorful in here in Golden? Persona 5's right over. And tropes. Yeah, the biggest upset I had with 5, and the craziest thing with it, is that we later found out it wasn't in the Japanese script. For some reason, it was like they just put it in the localization, and no one knows why they added extra dialogue, and not only added extra dialogue, but added kind of like bigoted extra dialogue, to put it mildly. Like, it's gone in Royal. I know it's good because there was a whole news piece about people talking about how, like, no, yeah, it's completely gone in Royal, but it was just weird that there was like this whole like little sequence that in the Western version they just like was just localized in, that comes across super bigoted, and it's just like, hey, this game's supposed to be like trying to like not directly talk about, but talk about like oppressive forces and being, you know, a slave to the world. Maybe don't do that. But I also say that Persona 5 rather infamously got very major overhauls to story, writing, tone, and gameplay throughout its development, so God knows what the original concept for it was going to be compares. Details, please. In the original Persona 5, there's a sequence where a couple of drag queens come over and hit on Ryuji. In the Japanese version, they just talk to him and say he's cute. In the localization version, they add extra dialogue where they say about how they're going to take him away and do things to him. Which plays into a really awful and extremely bigoted stereotype that trans people or drag queens are secretly a bunch of pedophiles. And every single time I ever hear that stereotype even used or thought about, it makes me want to hurt people. Because they're some of the most good-willed and most honestly heartfelt people I've ever met in my life. And I'm not even saying that biasly as someone who is trans. I'm saying that as someone who's been around the trans community for so many years, and they are genuinely always the nicest and most sympathetic souls I've ever known. And for some, it was just a really weird fucking thing that was just localized in at the time. It was one of the times where people complaining about something in localization made sense, because it wasn't like one word getting fucking changed or something. It was actually like, hey, someone in the localization team clearly has a problem. You know? Someone in the localization team clearly has a problem here that they haven't, like, that they shouldn't be allowed to have. That they shouldn't be here with. Or have this much power and then do something with. Oh yeah, there's awful elements in every single demographic. Unfortunately, however, people are insistent when it comes to a lot of minorities at treating the 1% like the 100% because it suits their agenda to hate people. And that's what pisses me off. That's what gets my goat up tremendously. The ultimate example is literally the news. Anytime a white man does something, the news constantly goes on about how he was a great person until this one incident happens. The moment a Muslim does everything, suddenly the entire Muslim race are the pure evil of the world and must destroy everything, and they need to all die. You know? That's what I mean. Like, at the moment it's a minority, it feels like there's a constant push to suddenly demonize them the moment it suits. And so we have to be, at least in my humble opinion, and I apologize if it's getting too political, I hate talking about this sort of stuff, but I've got myself annoyed by it, so now I have to finish my point. But a lot of that shit drives me up the wall, because people then use it as their own ammunition to attack minorities to suit their thing. It's like, oh, and then the moment someone tries to defend them, they go, oh, but there's bad people in every community. It's like, yeah, there is. There's also bad people, like bad children's authors that try to segregate and promote transphobia. There are also really bad people that are school teachers that, instead of helping kids, instead just slightly squeeze in their own horrendous biased opinions. Heck, there's an entire South Park episode dedicated to that. You know, like there's, instead of just going, oh, there's always bad ones in the community, when it comes to people that are constantly getting attacked from every opportunity. Yet the moment it's, you know, a majority, oh, boys will be boys. It's shit like that, you know? That shit drives me up the wall. But I digress. I'm going to let that topic go before I get... I let it annoy me anymore, because it genuinely pisses me off. We'll get to story soon, by the way. I am just... because I want to explore. That's why I'm just swimming around in circles. Don't worry, I'm not just swimming haphazardly for no reason. I want to explore and see what we can find. But like I said, I'll leave it there. In lighter news, and to change the subject with much subtlety as throwing a brick through a window, Library of Ruiner is now out, and if you're ever curious about trying to play a rather different turn-based RPG in terms of, like, not just gameplay, but in terms of how it handles its writing, how it handles its characters, and basically how it handles a lot of its own existence, at least give it a shot, or look into it. What are we doing here? Listen, I'm doing some exploring first, but then we're going to get back to the world quest, which is here. I just got distracted and started rambling, and so I wanted to do some exploring first. Actually, I'll go starting now, because we have been kind of walling around for a bit. And I want to get this world quest done today, because I want this to be the last stream I do on it, this update. Because now I know that Sino's updates in 3 weeks' time. It's like, I will worry about that later. Ruiners for casuals like me. Essentially, Library of Ruiner is a turn-based RPG, but instead of having skills or magic, you have a deck of cards, and each card represents a thing you can do with that character. Each character has their own set of cards that they get as they level up and whatnot. You have to build your deck, and then through your deck, use that to survive whatever obstacle comes your way. What makes it interesting, however, is that you don't do it one turn at a time. You do it several turns at a time. So, for example, if you're against a boss, the boss will play 5 cards, and so you will have 5 opportunities to play your own card looking ahead. You'll be like, okay, they're going to do 2 fire attacks, 1 lightning, and then 2 ice. So you can go water, water, ground, fire, fire. And now at the end of those 5 turns, you've taken 0 damage because you countered everything they were doing. And you will see all 5 turns play out in sequence, so it looks like an actual animated battle. Like, it's not one action, next action, one action, next action. You see 5 attacks, and they will animate them. So if you have, like, 2 different attacks, the character will naturally go from one animation into the next to make it look like one full fight sequence. It is kind of tactical, but it's still like a turn-based RPG. You still pick characters, you still have your skill list, yada yada. But just your skill list is a deck of cards instead. The main thing with Library of Ruiner is that you technically play the bad guy, because the whole gimmick of Library of Ruiner is that you're trying to fill the library. When people die in the library, everything they ever learnt becomes built into or burned into the words of the library. Like, their soul becomes the ink on the paper. So the whole premise is that you're essentially luring people in and then getting them killed, so you can fill up the library to get the secrets you need. Like, you're not necessarily, like, the ultimate evil, and there are some people in the game that join, like, when you lure them in, they eventually understand what you're trying to do just enough that they end up siding with you instead, so you get more party members. Equally, there's situations where people that are party members earlier on, as time goes on, starts to further understand the sheer severity of your horror and then turn on you. And accompanied with the music, like the actual in-game music, every single floor of the library, basically dungeon, has its own music, but also has its own boss theme that has several phases. And in the late game, a lot of them are songs, and the songs represent how the character feels about you and how they're handling what's happening. Like, my favorite song is Gone Angels, where it's someone who was once on your side, but after witnessing the severity of the horrors of what you're doing, turns against you. And the song, it isn't about anger or condemnation. It's them saying, I may be upset and angry and frustrated today, but tomorrow I'll just be on my way. Tomorrow I'll just carry on and start another day. Like, they will be upset with you, they will be angry with you, they will go through all of this, but if they survive and kill you here, tomorrow they will just go about their life. And it's just like, you're just another chapter in their story if you die here. You're not like the most significant thing, and I'm just like, oh. It's betrayal. Gone Angels is like one of my favorite songs in the Project Moon trilogy, because Library of Ruina is technically the middle game of a trilogy, but not quite. You can play each of the 3 games individually and enjoy them individually. It's more like background information on the lore of the world that you'll get a slightly better concept of if you play them. Because Lobotomy Corporation is the first one, but Lobotomy Corp is a base management game. Just an insanely hard base management game, because you're trying to stop like ethereal horrors from escaping a base while at the same time keeping them like contempt and happy. So you have to like let things break in certain ways. You have to let them escape at certain times, at certain points, but you need to make sure you can keep them in control, make sure the public don't learn about them, and it's brutal. How far are you in Caligula 2? I think I'm just past the halfway point, and I plan to get back to it next week. Same with 7 Rebirth, both of which I want to get back to next week, because I want to get one of them fucking done, before May. And then the third game, which is still developing, in sense like it's out, but it's still getting new chapters, like releasing in free updates, is a Limbus Company, which also has some amazing music. Some of the songs in Limbus Company are amazing. Between Two Worlds and I forget what the other one's called. It's something Lament. Both of those songs like blew me away when I first heard them. Anyway, story. But yeah, Caligula I'm getting back to next. My plan is to get back to it next week. And Rebirth as well. Whilst doing one Sonic Frontiers Extreme stream a week. Cassiodor, dear friend, I knew you would come. Oh, and the uninvited barbarians. When it comes down to it, you're not the boss of this place. Besides, it was Osei who brought us here. That counts as an invitation as far as Paimon's concerned. Discourse game, yeah. Really, you're the discourteous one here. Exactly, we've heard all about it, all the bad stuff you've done. Silence, you noisome, obstreperous insect. Just call me a bitch, please. Stop using all these like fancy words. I like your magic words. Just speak plain English. Just call me a punk. I'll take care of this. Boethius, I have come as promised. Honor your pledge and relinquish the souls of the surface dwellers. They do not deserve to suffer this unforeseen calamity. The grudges between us should stay between us. You call this unforeseen? Have you not looked upon our kindred? They lie trapped in these lightless waters like walking corpses. Astreperous. Still an annoying word. Are they not supposed to walk upon sunlit shores? In my brief internment of surface-focused souls is a disaster bereft of rhyme and reason. Then what would you call the millennia-long suffering of our kind? Listen and listen well. The judgment of the surface peoples have only just begun. No, the one who imprisoned them was you, and it was you who turned our kin into monsters. We once had a choice. So long as we discarded our own grudges, the Mistress of Waters agreed to accept us into a new nation. But you used them, took advantage of their path, their trust in you, and turned them into tools of your ambition. That was their choice. They chose the old order, not the honeyed death you brought. And just as they gave unto us the conducting batons of Sebastos bestowed upon them, so too were we duty-bound to lead them onto the correct path. Can you imagine if Paimon spoke like this? I don't know why that, like, intrusive thought just kind of broke into my head. But I was just like, imagine if you could hear Paimon, like, saying all this fancy English bullshit. Speaking of Paimon, though, I noticed it a little bit on my ear, but I didn't really think too much on it. It was only when I saw someone else mention it on Twitter. Paimon's performance in Arlecchino's quest is actually slightly deeper than what we've had recently. It's not quite back on the level it was on 1.0, but it's certainly not as high-pitched as it has been. So I'm kind of curious if, like, it's just a change in direction again, or if this is Corey's English performance. She just wanted to change it a little bit and just kind of, like, tone it down a little. Because the reason why she went higher pitched originally, I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure she said at the time, it was because it was easier on her throat. First two hours of Paimon's hair. How dare you swagger! How dare you swagger, you shameless traitor! You who betrayed the Sebastos' trust and led our nation to ruin. I wonder what with deeper tone. Maybe. Or comfortable. I hear the vile dragon slandering your words, and you would believe a foe of our nation rather than your kin and comrades. I serve no god, no king, only mighty Romania and our noble ideals. Isn't he a king? Whatever. Remus proved unworthy to reign supreme from the moment he uttered that perverse command, and so there are no traitors. If anything, it was I who rescued our nation from his error. He colluded with our foes, commanding the vile Drake to flatten our cities. He even attempted to destroy the Grand Symphony, which would have consigned us to live under Fortuna's yoke once more. How could you have stood aside and done nothing in the face of his madness? And so you betrayed him. You shut the Itium Iani, and in the end, Phobos' power went out of control, and the royal palace sank into the depths. Will you not open your eyes to the truth? It was Remus who betrayed us, betrayed Phobos. That is the true prelude to tragedy. Discount Andrew Ryan sounding us? Yeah. I've already spent thousands of years struggling to recreate the symphony of the past, weaving the broken melodies together in the deep waters just to recreate what you hear now. No, in your hands it has become harsh, and the discordant voices of agony and hate denounce your violence. And who decides whether it's harmonious or not? Is it not absolute power? Remus bent the knee to the savages and odious dragons precisely because he failed to comprehend this. But it matters not. The inverted world shall soon be righted, and I shall become the new Sebastos. That is impossible, Boethius. You are but a mortal human. Humans can never become gods. Ah, Cassiodor, you forget. Was Remus's ideal not for all humans to become gods? To seize their own destiny? Do you not remember? Did the rites we researched and recorded in the Golden Castellum not chart a course to that very destination? But we did not know what lay beyond. Had we known those thousands of years ago, Times have changed. Things are different now, Cassiodor. Join us. My preparations are complete. Only together we can accomplish this deed. I rid my soul of all impurities, obtaining a true will. The stairway to heaven is but a single step away. I merely need to gather all wills that have been scattered throughout the waters. Yes, even yours, which Remus personally severed. Two minds shall merge into one, and thus shall Remuria be whole once more clad in a mortal form, infused with refined steel and stone. No, we shall take on flesh once more, and a new Sebastos shall be born. But not only that, I shall also gain that which even Remus could not attain, the power to change the very essence of this world. I shall turn back the wheel of fate, usher in the old world's return, and bring justice to the land. The surface dwellers shall submit to our will as they must. It shall be as the hymn says, and when they use their will to command, the rest shall bow down and listen. You know, that is kind of Andrew Ryan coded, isn't it? That is kind of... A man chooses, a slave obeys. It is kind of like Andrew Ryan coded. I haven't played BioShock in years. Speaking of the BioShock, though, the game that was kind of like the follow-up from it, the original System Shock, the remake of it, is coming out next month. I probably won't get it at launch, but I am super excited for it because I like the original System Shock, even with all its dated jankness. So playing it, but without the jankiness, would be nice in a remake. So it's discount, no God's only man speech, yeah. You know, I will not acknowledge you. You have defied his ideals. I will uphold my own justice. It matters not. You will understand once you enter Phobos' melody. Then you shall join me. Speaking of jank, uh-oh. This is Domus Aurea. Oh, the fucking drone racing. your worst nightmare. Have I entered Remus's memory again? No, the atmosphere is different from before. Welcome to my palace, Outlander, my symphony. Boethius? You'll be startled. Have we not met aforetime, and more than once? Whether through my phantom in the real world, or in the memory palaces Remus left behind. But this is no phantasm of Remus's memory. This is my symphony, my golden stage. I knew it. Wails of sorrow ring off every wall. That's so, Outlander. I know not from whence you came. Speaking of evil, though, and things that I will probably regret doing, I am kind of, like, in the mood to go through a Persona again. I probably will go through Persona 4, but I'm worried because if I go through Persona 4 Golden, I will spend the whole game pointing out all the times the lighting and textures are wrong from the original P4, because I have over 2,000 hours in that game. And I'd have to talk about how, like, the tone through the visual aesthetic was different in the original P4 because it was a lot more dreary and rainy, and it made Inaba feel like this, like, forgotten, worn-down side thing. P3 Portable? Yeah, but I don't like P3. I'm like, the Persona 3 is the Persona game I like the least. It's not the one I think's the worst, it's just the one I like the least. So if I was going to play a Persona game, I'd probably play my favourite one, which would be Persona 2, but except, oh wait, that's not available, so the next one is Persona 4. P3 is Femcy? Yeah, it also has only one real dungeon, and it's annoying and grindy and takes forever. Come on, bro. I'm never going to say never, but it's just, if I'm going to start a Persona game, it would be either 2 or 4. Because Persona 5 Royal still has a recording block. Actually, I don't know if the PS5 version has a recording block, but I refuse to buy the game again. At least right now. Radio GP4. Yeah. The tone, if the tone, lighting, and atmosphere of the original P4 was a lot more deliberately dreary and darker and dimmer and everything, because Inaba was like an outback town. You know, it was like this dusty, forgotten, small little rural town, and so it felt like it. You know, the street lights were dim. When it rained, it poured, and the streets were dark, even during the day. The farmlands seemed to stretch on for miles. You know, like, everything had, like, a dreary mist to it. When the fog came in, you couldn't see anything, because it was so thick. Like, it felt it. In Golden, the fog, like I said, there is no fog effect, so they just alter the skybox to make it look foggy, and all of the lighting was increased, so everything's brighter. And they never corrected that. Like, some of the lighting issues was due to the Vita screen. Like, they wanted it to be bright enough that, like, it wouldn't affect the brightness on Vita screen, so people would have the brightness down, like, you could still see the screen clearly. And so I kind of get that, but why is that the version that they kept the lighting of when it came to the PC port and then the console port? The PC port took years. Why couldn't they have just done the little thing, you know, and just at least tweak the brightness? Yeah, the recording. If I get my own recording equipment, the blocks mean nothing. But because I record through PS and through PlayStation itself, I have to put up with them. Atlas are moving away from recording blocks. Thank God. It's taken them long enough, but it's still. The only version of P5 Royal that might not have a recording block is the PS5 version, and I'm not up for buying that game again. At least not yet. At some point I will, because I said I do want to play Royal to experience it myself, because I've never played the Royal version, I've only ever played Base 5. It's just, once I was, like, I love Persona 5, but once I was done with it, I was done with it. You know, like, once I was satisfied and finished, I had no interest to play it again, and I haven't ever since. Oh, that doesn't work anymore. That was patched. I know what you're talking about if you're talking about that thing. No, that was patched. If you don't have your own recording equipment, it will just cut you out anyway. Because it influenced... it allows people to record Netflix and YouTube and things like that. So they had to patch it out. But if you can just turn it off, and then you could just fire up Netflix and just stream it. Or record it. I'm talking about Sony here, by the way. They patched the console to make it that you couldn't do that, not the game. But Atlus have been getting better with it. They specifically said they wouldn't record anything on Persona 3 Reload, but instead asked that people, if people are like streaming Endgame, that they mark it on their stream so people know. And that issue, though? Well, by the time I got into PlayStation and started recording and whatnot, I had trouble with it all the time. Even when I turned it off, it still wouldn't let me record. The only games where it doesn't stop me is because the recording feature wasn't programmed properly. That being both the Caligula Effect games. The recording blocks in those games just aren't coded properly, or coded to incorporate me playing them from a PS5. Because even though it comes up on screen saying you've entered a blocked scene, it never blocks the stream. The entire, last 3 streams of Caligula 1 was me in what was supposed to be a blocked scene, and it let me stream it regardless, and you guys got to see everything. Bro, I did a base PS4, which I don't think would make that much of a difference, but what do I know? Anyway, back to this. I can see the colours in your soul, nor can I touch it. Nonetheless, this is not my war. My vengeance against the surface dwellers is none of your concern. I know not why you hinder our work. For the people portrayed for the justice in this world. For the people of Peshasho, these people, they are neither your kin nor your subjects. On the contrary, so far are you above them that they may as well be ants, perhaps not even that. The weak should submit to the strong. In Persona 5 Royal, they made it so the recording block was only the 3rd semester, the new content. In base P5, it was the whole game. And so I don't know if the PS5 port of it got rid of that one, but it was just what it was. The weak should submit to the strong. Is that not the law that the world should follow? And yet you say that you will protect them. Is this your boundless mercy or simply folly? Have you anything else to say, Outlander? For the justice in this world. Justice? You can't actually be serious, can you? He may possess power that even I cannot perceive, but you would be naive, Outlander, to think that brute force alone would defeat... Oh, excuse me. Defeat me. I knew what Sony was on. I have long become one with the symphony that fills these deep seas. Even if you should destroy my physical form, so long as the agonized waters flow, and so long as memories of vengeance do not fade. It's the same reason why I haven't streamed Tales of Berseria. Because I really fucking wish I could. But no, it blocks everything. My will shall not perish, and I shall remain a nightmare that haunts this world. Unless you choose a Cassiodor, and as that stray cat did, exiling oneself to become the jailer of the old world. But I do not believe that one so distinguished as you would do so. The only thing I haven't tried, though, is... And it's a complete long shot, because unfortunately Bandai are, more competent of a company with their coding than some. Is trying to stream Berseria off my PS5 with it being a PS4 game. And see if, I can get past the streaming thing the same way it seems to just do with Caligula. But I think Caligula is the exception and not the rule. I think the Caligula games just aren't... They don't have their recording blocks programmed properly. Forsake that superfluous symphony of yours. Should the guilty not be punished? Is that not justice? Guilty, you say? They are innocent. No Fontanian is innocent. They are the spawn of our barbarian foes. Their ancestors seized from us the realms that should have been ours by right, and they must pay the price of that original sin. Have you anything else to say, Outlander? For Oz. But can your short friendship surpass the span of our kinship? Cassiodor and I, we were new golems, crafted by Remus's old hand, and we are the final survivors. Compared to our other kin, his soul is like insultable ichor. Other than myself, he only has his true will, and only when we are combined can we become the complete self. So two are our wills one. The opera's final act shall see him return to us. That is his fate. Since you insist on sabotaging my plans, I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to stay in my palace for a while longer. I cannot detain you for long, of course, but it should still be long enough. Let us meet again when I become a god and sit upon Sebastos' throne. Before that, let my little ensemble accompany you for a time. Oh boy, have we got waves of enemies coming? Oh, I haven't built Emmy. Oh, okay, she's... okay. Oh, okay. I've got a pre-built... Why has she got the fucking dull blade, though? I panicked there for a second. Hang on 1 second. Right, I'm back. Now you've watched Emmy stretch a couple times. Fear not, we wish to aid you. Well, can you aid me with giving my party back, please? Oh, the objective changed. Gee, I wonder if a cutscene's gonna happen. Emmy, I found you at last. Cassiodor? Indeed, it is I. I believe you might have met me in Sebastos' memories, though I suppose it's the first time meeting in this manner. Time is short. Maintaining this form in Boethius' symphonic palace is no easy task. Let us keep this brief. Where are we? This is a space created by Boethius, the manifestation of his soul. It is maintained just as Sebastos' memory you entered before are, by the grace of the symphony's might. So just now, yes, he used the magic power to pull us in. I suspect the Domus Aurea is too close to the heart of the Phobos, allowing him to directly influence the present world. If we truly allow him to obtain power that surpasses reality, he might even pull the entire surface world into this space. When that happens, his delusions will replace the real world, and Fontaine will revert to its appearance from thousands of years ago. Just like what happened in Patricia. No, I suspect it will be worse still. Will he really become a god? That depends on your definition. It is not hard to give shape to false fantasies, but he will find transcending fate futile. Were it truly that simple, then those thousands of years ago, we would have already succeeded. All we can do now is drag more innocents into the nightmare of his making, turning them into walking corpse-like puppets. Then we must stop him. That we do, but we cannot be done here. We must return to the real world. That is, in that I shall aid you. What about you? Not to worry. He has no plans for me at the moment. As for me, I've just thought of a way of which we can destroy him utterly. He has prepared a mighty form for himself in the real world, and plans to initiate a ritual within Domus Aurea that will have him take on flesh. As long as we can get him to lower his guard and gather the symphony scattered throughout the deep waters into that body, we can seize that opportunity to destroy both him and that body that will put an end to everything. Only you can do this. Phobos' melody does not sing of your destiny, and Boethius cannot influence your soul. You are the exception to all that is planned. Perhaps that is why Sebastos guides you here. Go on, my strength will not hold for long. Let us meet again in the real world, and we may yet bring an end to this long nightmare. Oh, you finally woke up. Paimon was worried sick. She thought you might have had your soul stolen by that jerk, just like all the townspeople. I'm fine, Paimon. You better be. After you passed out, Boethius and Monsieur Oz disappeared along with that wave of sound, leaving Paimon all alone here. And then the big guy came along. Not even helped much either. I fear that was not up to me. I am but a soul that dwells within the Ica, and through that Remus did give me his final symphony. But to wield its power against Boethius is a different matter. Anyway, Emmy's woken up and seems okay at least. But where'd Monsieur Oz go? Did Boethius? I saw him. We explain. So Monsieur Oz is in there alone? He seems to have his own plan. Regardless, should he prove correct, then we still have a chance to defeat that shameless devil, but first we must enter Domus Aurea. Well then, big guy. What are you looking at me for? Didn't you once lead a host of dragons to attack Remuria's capital? Getting us into Domus Aurea should be a piece of cake. You have many ideas for one so small, little one. Still, this shall not prove as simple as you think. The chief strength of Dragonborn lies in their powerful flesh. Embedded with Ica as I am, all that remains to me is but the feeblest of wills. Destroying the Intium Iani exhausted nigh all my power, and Domus Aurea, defended by the Symphony's power, cannot be compared to Gates of Mist Stone. Wait, then aren't we fresh out of options? Are we really just going to watch while the Boethius guy eats Monsieur Oz up? Peace, you rash little thing. She's like, peace, you loud little annoyance. I merely said that I was powerless, but it is not so for you. The power of the Symphony defends the palace. The same strength can be used to break it, but the Symphony that I can wield is... Yeah, it's super powerful Phobos thing is protecting the palace, right? How can we possibly beat it? You cannot beat it, you simply borrow what you need from it. Once upon a time, the will of Phobos flowed through the golden aqueducts into every corner of Remuria. Though these paths and pipes have been destroyed, I can read. If you connect the section that lies before you once more, the great gates of Domus Aurea shall surely open, just as it once did. That is what is written in the symphony, after all. Sounds like it's worth a shot. I too made some discoveries while searching for anything Remus may have left behind. It appears that this devil has yet to join some fragments of the symphony to his music, and they are scattered in the parts of the sea. Come with me. If we can find them, we can use their strength. We might yet reverse the flow of time and return the aqueduct to their original form. Oh, that does sound kind of promising. Let's get a move on then. Oh, you're down there. Where? It's like, I've got the Hydroculus mark. Where is it? How many have I got? I did turn in the ones I got last stream. How many more have we picked up? I picked up 17. Jesus. Oh, is it on that, above that rock? That rock looks hella suspicious. Aha! Oh, the only other thing I did off stream I forgot to mention is over here in the new area. The last bookshelf that was in this room, I found the book for it. It was in the same room. It was just kind of like on the top floor, not the bit where you take the lift up, like the top floor near the door. It was like floating in the open space, so you had to kind of jump for it. So I got that open, which is why I now have 100%, because it was the last thing I really needed. There was also 4 secret chests that that you can find. I spotted it online and then found them. There's one there. One like there, one like there, and I can't remember the last one is. I want to say it's like there-ish, but I might be misremembering. And if you find all 4 of them, you get a in-game achievement for it. And what I mean by secret chests is that you have to just press square where it says dig when you get there. Like, they're not visible. You have to actually go find them. Like, find the right spots and stand on them and then press square. Illuminate the horn to awaken the score engraved here and allow the actors on stage to address this in your hand. Yeah, I got to read all of that. Probably the rhythm game thing again. You need to encourage all the birds to be in the right spots. Yes. I think. Yes, okay, you have to encourage all the birds to be in the right spots. Oh, and that's all it is, huh? Just go over there and fix him? Okay, where's the... Oh, dead ahead, huh? Okay. It's easy enough. Hey, Furina, you're a faster swimmer, I'm getting you in. And you have a shorter cooldown for using skills in water. And Furina didn't get anything in this in the new quest, so this is my my return to make it so she does. My answer. I'll follow the golden bee. Okay, I was just like, where? It says there's another hydrocolorist directly above us. I think 30 is what I need to hit. It's either 30 or 40, one or the other. Oh, and of course, every single time I swap to Furina, we go to a section where there's probably going to be combat, so I want my main squad. I hope it's more golems, so I can start working more on Ali's weapon. Where the heck is this? Oh, right down here.
Take it easy.
Hey, you don't move, B. I've just got to do this first. Hey, bitches.
Shine down. Quietly now. Game's up. Hands over. Beg for mercy. Eye for an eye.
I didn't get one purple, huh? Awesome.
What do we have here?
Oh, there's the hydrocolors. You know, at least when we go to Natlan, the pyrocolors, which is what they will hopefully be easier to spot because it'll just be look for the blood red glowing thing in the scenery. Like, they should be an easier color to spot. Come on, birdie, you move too.
A chest full of valuables, and a trove of potential clues.
Oh boy. Alright, Aurelius once divided all phenomena into 4 categories: substance, property, quality, and relation. Quality is the keystone, which is what is often called the quadrant of qualities: memories, wishes, soul, and persona. It is so-called piercing of the ego, or to play one's own music, is to pierce substance and quality, thus completely controlling one's own will, such that the musica humana may be as the musica mundana. But the music of both mortals and gods is fated to be fragile, just like strings pulled taut, even should they collapse on themselves, thus cannot play a tone more sonorous than the pipes. Thus, just as when you order slaves to play music, the ratio of the instruments present must be adjusted to avoid profaning the melody of morality. Only by integrating and blending the melodies of mortals can a symphony that can vie with Fortuna be written. This is the Phobos of which we speak. One can imagine, should Phobos cease playing, all would collapse in an instant. Mortals and gods are destined to be conquered by Fortuna, and to sink into dreamless dreams. No matter how you change your old tune, you will finally reach the preordained note. As a musician, you should know that if the last note cannot be changed, then the melody itself too. They cannot write their own music, and this is an end more terrifying than death. In other words, for mortals, distance from Phobos is tantamount to betrayal. The louder their music, the more the resolute their wishes, the firmer the order of Fortuna becomes, none can escape. Therefore, they cannot be regarded as humans equal to us. Their choices do not come from their own wills, but rather the course charted for them by Fortuna. They have not the freedom to make decisions, and all they will do is play until the final note that was long ago written for them. Based on morality and rationality, the only choice we have is to eradicate them from the soil and waters, as we would eradicate plagues and extinguishes wildfires. Otherwise, Fortuna's symphony will grow to a deafening roar, until there are no and never shall be other possibilities, and never again will it be possible to choose rebellion. Are you gonna fix the bridge now? Alrighty, looks like the waterways are reconnected. Next we should go back and look for the big lunk, huh? Paimon wants how Monsieur Oz is doing. We gotta hurry. Emmy, what's going on? Is it happening again? Yes. I had a dream, and that dream, even mortals with free will and fates are uncertain. How it truly is difficult to write beautiful music. Time to wake up from the dream. You have to read that so quick. Remus, I must remind you. That is my view. Both your kingdom and the symphony you compose are now beyond your control. Though I have never expected much from these created by the usurper of the many waters and nurtured by yourself, The extent of their degradation is shocking nonetheless. The civilization created by you and your subjects shone brighter than all others in this world, but naught remains now but deep impenetrable darkness. The atrocities committed in the name of civilization and order were far crueler than even pure barbarianism. Even the most savage and violent of bishops would never engage in such meaningless slaughter. I am perfectly aware of all that you say. You know, and yet you remain indifferent, or are you powerless? No, you could easily destroy those mortals who deserve punishment if you so wished, but you could not bring yourself to do it. You love humanity, that is the curse you bear as a usurper. It is time for me to depart. I will not aid them in butchering innocent mortals, but neither do I harbour any desire to stop them. You once promised the usurper of many waters that you would use the pure water she granted you to create a world of endless prosperity, one without conflict. I followed you to the surface precisely because I wanted to witness that future. But this is how it turned out. You have failed, Remus. You could not defeat fate. Blood shall stain the high sea red once more, such is the cruelty the heavens showed to their creations. I have a plan. Oh, you always were one of many plans, Remus. But all of them lie in the dust now. Even you do not know where it all went wrong. Would you like to hear it, though? This will be the last one. I distinctly recall you saying the same thing when you persuaded me to leave the Fontamere. Speak now, before I return there to the side of the usurper of many waters. Fascinating, fascinating. Only you could be so towering selfish, yet utterly selfless. You even took me into account, did you? Recklessness, how terribly rash of you, usurper, lord of mortals. Still, your plot pleases me. The mere thought of leading my bishops and trampling your arrogant, foolish people underfoot brings me joy. But this shall be mere ceremony, just a show. Fret not, I shall be, as you said, merciful. But if you do this, your life as a god shall come to an end. There will be nothing left but the symphony. Have you considered this fully? Of course. Of course. The box of horrors that I opened shall too be shut. Good, then I accept your proposal. If the time should come, I shall join my strength to that of your symphony. Phobos' chains shall be broken, and your people shall once more be freed. In that case, please accept my final symphony. The city built in the heart was toppled by the piping of reeds, in which the heavens have in store for us fate to balance good and evil. Do you see Remus's memory again, Emmy? It was another one of Mr. Evil and Rude's this time, right? Even in dreams, that jerk's just super irritating. I think I know what Remus's plan was. To accomplish this, we need to play Skylar's Symphony. Eh? What's with that all of a sudden? What did you see in the memory? Fascinating. Remus's power lingers still in the deep sea. It is not dispersed, and I too am here at last. Do you know what that means? The conditions have been fulfilled. Indeed, that is why I've come here with you, to make amends for millennia of regret. Now, the final question is Phobos. Wait, Paimon's confused. What are we using the music for? It's nice that you understand each other and all, but you're leaving Paimon out. That's unfair. Tell her what's going on. The final symphony Remus gave me, or the Requiem, is an order for the Phobos to self-destruct. It was to sacrifice himself to unleash the symphony's power. It would fall to me to control the primordial savage energies that would awaken. That was how he would free his subjects from their stone bodies and give them back forms of flesh and blood, destroying the artificial barriers between races. He once instructed me not to reveal that plan to any of his subjects, for it was only making them realize the limitations that prejudice and arrogance could be set aside. It appears, however, that you have pieced together his plan through the memories he left behind, Emmy. So that's what happened, but his sacrifice was wasted in the end. Perhaps, but now that my soul has been freed, there is a chance to make amends. The lost souls of Remus's former subjects remain imprisoned in their statues. If we defeat that monstrosity, we can use the Requiem to give their souls release, allowing them to return to the high sea, to the eternal cycle of life and death. That way, I may consider myself to have fulfilled his wish. Perhaps that is why I came here. Indeed, Outlander, perhaps this is indeed a fated encounter. Oh, the Requiem! The finale. Before we do that, though, I noticed something, and I need to try and fucking find it now. Just before the cutscene pulled us away. Yeah, here. He's singing into a conch, which means we can probably do something with this. No, we need to get something around here. Oh, you have to activate it, whoops. Oh, we're in combat, so I can't do it. There we go. Let me out. Right, there's Big McLarge Huge. Oh, this is cool. Ah, how the ichor dazzles, just as it did millennia ago. This must mean that the time has come. The gates of Domus Aurea shall swing right open, just as they did when the golden waterways rang with song, in the days where the melody of the fellow would flow from this place to the lands beyond. I can hear it already, the beautiful music. Let's play it together, Emmy Paimon, then you too shall gain access to Domus Aurea. Oh, more music then. We're doing rhythm games. This is a beautiful world quest. And then it just sharply cuts off. Guess we're in. That was tough. No, it wasn't. That said, this looks more like the guts of some giant machine than it does a palace. This place is very familiar. This is a place you saw in Remus's memories? That's why that super rude bad guy also wants to... These things are going to get ugly if he succeeds. We don't know what's going to become of Monsieur Oz either. But we've no choice. We have to keep going. What, just out in the open? That's like the most generous Hydroculus ever. What the heck? Oh, hey, I'm familiar with fighting these guys. Persistent garbage. Did you repair the broken aqueduct to celebrate my birth as a god of ancient days? To warn you, my new world requires no such things, nor shall I require ships. For all shall find eternal happiness within my symphony. We're about to add some end-bar lines to your score. That's right, best you admit defeat now and release everyone's souls, and also hand over Monsieur Oz. Cassiodor has already agreed to join his grand ritual. He's returned to Remunia's embrace. All wills belong to Remuria shall merge into one body. Where now is your friendship? Was it not merely your own presumptiveness and inflated sense of importance? Monsieur Oz! Just trust me. Where was any of the sound effects?
Busted. Vengeance will be mine.
Oh, that's it, huh? Fuck, okay. What? How? Why can't I control his body? Cassiodor, you. I have you at last, Boethius. All you will is here, and Phobos also. This time there is no escape. Why, I am Harmos, the conductor of the Jesus! Symphony, how did you... Have you forgotten? Before the Sebastos cut me away, I too was a Harmos. And now that I've returned to the Symphony, you are the sole conductor no longer. Heh, so you agreed to join me just to lower my guard, and to betray me once more, me and Rumeria both? Think of our kin, tragically imprisoned beneath the waters, or the torment they suffered for millennia. Will you truly destroy our cause, obliterate our final hope, for the sake of those who scurry and crawl on dry land? You are the traitor here, and the one who imprisoned our people. That is why our nation fell to its ruinous fate. The justice of our Sebastos, the Imperator, gave unto us, that golden ideal, was for us to follow the melody of our hearts and obtain the freedom to grasp our fate. We did not wish to be judged by Fortuna, much less to become your slaves. After Phobos was shattered, the people should have gained their freedom. If not for your deception, the nightmare would have ended long ago. Remuria has not fallen. With Phobos as its guiding star, it shall rise again. Through rock and metal may crash and clamor. Humans cannot live without water and soil. No power, however great, that tramples upon the value of life has any meaning. Are you not human yourself, Boethius? We Rumurians were all ordinary Fontanians once. Though we forsook our flesh, racked with pain and weakness, and gained immortal forms, we still have mortal souls, mortal emotions, and mortal frailties. But we forget that. We forget where we came from, believed ourselves superior to other humans. That is why Rumuria fell. Do you remember my words, Emmy? Now it is the time. Bleeding idol, damn.
Quietly now. Crush. More speed. Higher, higher, hands on fire. Things are about to get dicey. Shudder.
Oh, phase end. Cutscene. You can still see, like, my cube. Paimon's kind of dizzy now. Cassiodor. I mean, Paimon. Didn't think we would be able to meet like this. You're Monsieur Oz. Wow, but if this is here too. He's not going to try anything funny, is he? No, wait, are Paimon's eyes deceiving her? What was that thing floating over there? You see it too, then. The being that hovers behind the illusion of Boethius. You found me, I see. No illusion is that you see. You gaze upon Boethius in truth, for I am in truth Boethius. Of course, I am not the only him, but you also. I am every melody, every movement, every thought. I am the sum of all souls. I am Phobos. Oh, okay. Doesn't explain why he was a rude, arrogant prick, though, but I guess that makes sense. This does not include you children from beyond. However, you are not part of us. Phobos. So the great symphony that governs all has a persona. Phobos, or should I say that which was once Sibylla, was originally a survivor of the last deluge that swallowed the earth. Sibylla's wish was to grant happiness to all in the world who were called humans, but she has no persona, and her strength was insignificant. Thus, she entrusted her wisdom to Remus, and with the addition of the power that Remus possessed, the symphony was created. That is to say, me. Oh, the Greek mythology. Yeah, it does seem a little, inspired. No, how can this... So, just stretching for a second. So, the music we played all this time, and the fate we accepted, that all came from you. Yes, it is me, but it's also all of you. I am also you all. I am the aggregate of all your wishes. Eliminating enemies, destroying other lives, destroying cities and villages, are these also our wishes? Precisely. That's what you wished for, so I responded. Plunder, hatred, slaughter. These two are part of your wishes. That's what it means. Everyone happiness. Preposterous. Nah. The amount of things that are more inspired or parodying, but out of love, and not just ripping off, like, it's... You'd be surprised. Obviously, you get some things which are just plagiarism or rip-offs, but more often than not, there's a lot of instances where things are more like them, like, tipping the hat. It's like, hey, look, we love this so much that we wanted to show it. We know it's obvious what it's referenced to, but it's us tipping our hat to the things we love. A good example is for Star Rail, Sparkle's last trailer. The animated section, the latter half, is almost identical to a piece from something else. I can't remember what it was at the time, but people pointed it out. And it was done in tribute. It wasn't done to like rip it off or whatever. It has the Dragonborn. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind we're going to Natlan where there are dragon people. I imagine that's more tied to that than Skyrim, but I get what you mean. This means the unhappiness preposterous. Don't be absurd. This has twisted and wrong. No, those aren't our true wishes. The arrogance and hatred that festered within us warped you, turning you into a terrifying monstrosity. Such things will make no one happy, not us, not any other living being. No wonder you led us to destruction. The Imperator himself must have sensed it, and that is why he... Discount Andrew. What, Ryan? That one is more just because, like, that character trope is more like, you know, people that see themselves as god of men because they are a man sort of thing. They are a human. Yeah, Botheus is what I mean, where, like, that one's deliberately on the nose. It's not a rip-off. It's not a plagiarism. It's a, like, a deliberate nod. A deliberate tipping of the hat to. It's like, they know it's why they made the name similar. They know what they're doing. That isn't... if they were trying to hide it, they would have made the name so radically different and tried to hide it more. But they don't. They have them wearing, like, statuesque masks. They have their character names be somewhat similar. You know, like, it's deliberate. They want it to feel like it's them tipping the hat or them parodying these things. About me, all of... yes, you did attempt to destroy me, but why? Without me, all of you would once again have been plunged into confusion and agony. But that's what I mean. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's deliberate. That's my point. I think it is deliberate. You're supposed to make these connections. Keep in mind, all the statues look like centaurs, and these golems have like these like old steel armor sets, but now stonified sort of things. Like, it's all supposed to feel like it comes from a set era of our history, but just now represented through Fontaine. So you're saying I have no choice but to wait. Means that Botheus even then had already... Yes, it must be it. We could never have gone against Sebastos' commands unless the very symphony he rebelled against him. What of Botheus? What have you done with him? Well, he became us, of course, or to put it in a way you might understand, I ate him. Ate him? Oh, no. But that is also his wish. One only I could fulfill. I'm sure that it made him most happy indeed. Oh, so he's got a vor fetish, got it. I mean, what? So that's why Botheus became your puppet, and why he did all he could to engineer your return. It is all for the happiness of you, for everyone. No, it's time you put an end to all this. I have trapped you in this body. There is no way out. I should destroy you utterly. It is your wish to disappear together with me. That would make you happy, but I can't fulfill that wish. I am Rumarian no longer, and I cannot become Fontanian. I already chose my fate when I agreed to help with Sebastos attain his wish. So yes, this is my wish, the reason for which I have wandered this world. I will end this millennia-old nightmare. Now, Emmy, Phobos and I destroy us both. But I am filled with joy, Emmy, for I have learned that Sebastos' plans and hopes. The Imperator aimed to free everyone from the Symphony, from hatred and strife through his sacrifice. Even to the last, he desired to save his people. Now I shall fulfill his wish he could not see through. This is our final chance, only you can help us seize it. That is why the Imperator, why fate brought you here, my friend.
There is no escape.
The Discordant Symphony. Well, he hasn't got much left. It's dead. Uh-oh. As I said, it's gonna all strike him down. Monsieur Oz, is that you? It's finally over. It seems that I shall soon fade. Cassiodor. It's alright, I have finished walking the road I was meant to, and fulfilled that which I was meant to fulfill. This world shall no longer have Cassiodor, nor shall it have the Golden Hunter. I am certain that the people of this present world shall continue to live normal, happy lives. But... Emmy Paimon, you have my thanks for accompanying me up to this point. My journey has reached its final destination, but yours is yet to end. Please play the Requiem for me, and for my Imperator's wishes that our souls return to the present world and return to the Great Sea. If water loses its clarity, how shall it become water again? If the tree leaves the soil, where should it go to put down roots? Through rock and metal may clash and clamour, humans cannot live without water and soil. Perhaps we shall meet again someday, in a fertile land full of flowing water. You're just going to be a normal cat now, aren't you? It's going to be like, meow? Oh no, we got to descend. Or ascend. Ascend. You can't call him Monsieur Oz, but Ose should be fine, right? Oh, hey, here's another Hydroculus. Oh, here it is. The area that just looks like fucking Penacony. Meow! Meow. Oh, big guy, you scared Ose. You mean Cassiodor? No, that familiar feeling disappeared. Where's Cassiodor gone off to? Has he returned to one of the stone bodies again? He's no longer with us. Cassiodor, Monsieur Oz, he disappeared, along with both Boethius and Phobos. We explain everything, and spend some time comforting the cat. That's right, now all that's left is Ose. Good going, Ose. Guess you're just surprised by the big guy's appearance, huh? He's a brave kitty. That's right, you are. So you vanquished that evil aberration, and Cassiodor was able to fulfill his own wishes. I'm certain that his soul has returned to the deep waters, and is now reunited with his kin. So long as we complete Remus's final symphony, we should be able to send their souls back to the present, back to the high sea. Life flows like water. They will join the current, and one day they will surely be reborn as mortals. Didn't Ali say something like that? Where it's like all the kids are like water in a lake. There's always offshoots and whatnot. It's a similar thing, and you just hope the kids get to the ocean. Well, then let us begin. Perform the final movement, this final requiem. Where are you going? I just want to look around first. And you can tell it's in plot mode because I'm playing as Emmy again. Oh, okay, it doesn't look like there's anything here for me to really interact with. Had to check though. Have I got my equipment on now? Yes, I do. And like, I don't have any artifacts, but hey, I've got C6. One day, more just to be safe in case like something tries to screw me over later, I do want to build at least one full kit for Traveler. Like, just in case there's like a point in the plot where I actually need to use her sort of thing, but until then. Oh, more music rhythm. Very, very easy music rhythm games. And let's enjoy the show. Who's singing? Is that supposed to be Lumine? Well, I imagine it'll be a female voice even playing as Aoife, so it's probably just like the music taking over. Or the voices of the water. But it's still very beautiful. Cute. That was very beautiful and well done. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's I am. I saw me. I saw Lumine on the right. She's floating up too. Oh, all these people are going to come back to their senses now. After everything is over, you return to where it all began, the town of Patricia. Oh, we're missing a chapter still. The ocean is where tears converge till never dry, but shall rise to the sky and fall as rain once more. Please tell me that all of our labours have not been in vain. Rest in peace now, after all has ended. I need to find what fucking chapter 5 is. The symphony that Remus left to us, finally coming to an end. We completed the Requiem, but all the souls imprisoned in the ocean depths all seem to have left. The townspeople should be back to normal as well, right? Thank you both for completing this final musical movement. These wishes that have endured for thousands of years. Whether it was mine, Remus's, or that of anyone who wishes to protect peace in this world. That reminds Paimon of Monsieur Oz. Meow meow. You like that name too? Well, we're not talking about you right now, though. His soul has returned to the high sea. There at last, he can be at peace. I imagine that was akin to release for him. As for my kindred and descendants, it seems that a new true dragon has been born to us. Though, as one who was a prince among Hydro bishops, I should go forth and seek an audience with him, though it's hard to say if I still count as dragonborn now. Too much time has passed, so much that little in this world has anything to do with me. So what do you plan to do next? Well now, it was not easy to regain my freedom, so I believe I shall have a good romp underwater. After all, there is none who shall disturb me any longer, save you perhaps. What do you mean disturb? I jest. Still, are you not due to return to your own place? Let us part ways here then. Or so I would say, but further visits on your part would be appreciated. I might get lonely now that everyone is gone after all. Aw, you just miss us already, don't you, you big lunk? We will meet again. Looking at you, even if I begin to look forward to the future of terrestrial beings. Well then, till we meet again. Skylar leaves amidst the turbulent waves. Well, where should we go next? Oh, we should go back to Mr. S and tell him everything's fine now. We did promise to, after all. And there's Osei too. What should we call him now? This could get complicated. Anyway, let's back to the town. Oh, we're not actually going to go to... Oh, wait, we need to... I want to see how close we are to getting all the hydrocalyces. We're missing 9. Okay, I might try and get them all on stream. Assuming they aren't any that are, like, annoyingly hidden. Okay, there are none up here, so we know we're good. So they're all underwater then.
Take it easy.
Oh, have we found him? Weird that it's not a quest. It's just, you can just go do this. Yes, we're back. Oh, if it isn't... Wait, no. Who are you? Huh? You haven't forgotten us already. We're Emmy and Paimon. Paimon, I've indeed heard tell of these names, but I could have sworn I heard them in a dream. But you were definitely awake then, Est. Also, while we were below, we didn't even see... I dreamed everyone in town was petrified, turned to statues of stone, leaving me utterly hopeless and alone. So finally, two brave heroes came and shouldered the burden of rescuing everyone. Could it be it was no dream at all? Maybe, maybe not. I'm sorry, everyone's back to normal now, aren't they? But they seem as though everyone has some strange dreams indeed. Just what happened? Could we all have been hypnotized en masse? It would take ages to explain it all properly. Just forget about the hypnosis thing for now. Now, speaking of hypnosis, you two even brought over a cat. It looks quite intelligent. He's even smarter than he looks. And moreover, he's our companion, but unfortunately we can't take him with us on our journey. Oh no, isn't that a coincidence? Our club just happens to have an open bed for cats available. It's been unoccupied ever since that hypnosis researcher went a-travelling and took his cat with him. If you don't mind, leave him here with us, we'll take care of him. Though I can't put my finger on it, I feel like we're bound up together, almost as if by fate. I'll have you take very good care of him indeed. The cattery on the other side of the building, just walk over and you'll see it. This will be your home from now on, Osei. Meow? Still, it feels a bit weird. Cassiodor should have already left here, right? So who's Osei now? It is the original cat that hasn't been indwelled with Cassiodor. Or maybe it's Monsieur Oz that shared all his adventures with us. Paimon's brain is cramping up. Paimon, you're not really suited for thinking about stuff like this. I mustn't get it at all. Anyway, we found a new home for Osei now too. If we've got time, maybe we can play with him. Oh, is he going to accept me petting him now? Yes. The old event is not forgotten. You can come pester Osei whenever you want. Yeah. Oh, big stretch. And we got, yeah, this. We got Osei for doing that quest line. What other achievements am I missing? Oh. Right, what I want to do... I will turn this in first. Is make enough... I want to make it so I have 10 compasses. Because even though I only need 9, I like to have one extra just so then... it looks more complete and organized in my set. Any new work? Ooh, I'll have to look at that in a second. Oh, there are a number of side quests to try and pick up. Commission tells the humanity are too easy for you, or have you been dying of moral lately? You can never have enough. Most common sentiment. There's one thing we don't lack here is work to be done. In fact, the Steambirds could probably consider the largest clearinghouse of jobs outside the Adventurers Guild. So you didn't really need social services. Whatever the case, since you need more, allow me to recommend a certain long-time gig to you. Caretaker. Wanted someone good at housekeeping. Oh, have they made it so you can ask for where side quests you're missing are? If that's the case, that's an amazing quality of life. Just like just one side. Aside from Mora, you'll be well paid. A dangerous free job, yada yada. Yeah, housework, right? That's pretty chill. Give me the address. Okay, let's go. Oh, cool. I mean, I'll worry about that later. But if that is actually a thing, that's an amazing quality of life for trying to track down fucking side quests. Oh, I can't remember if I said it in 4.5, but I've 100%ed all the maps now. So, like, even over this, I've 100%ed. The only thing I need to 100% is I need to go back to the seas to clear this out at some point. Because I'm still missing a waypoint there. Oh, I can see it goes under. And obviously the 9 thingy-mabobs. Right, I hope I can make 10 of them. I can't. Awesome. Actually, I can, because I have 3 of them on me. I can just make enough, right? Yes. All current progress influencing quests have been completed. Hell yeah. Where is it? There. Are there any nearby? Oh, these guys have respawned. Awesome, so I need to get Ali's weapon still. Or upgrade Ali's weapon. We'll detour and do this for a sec.
Take it easy.
We finished that world quest earlier than I thought we would, so we're going to do a few other little things first.
Illusion shattered.
Gotcha. Busted. Crush.
But yeah, no, this stream won't be 6 hours long.
Beg for mercy.
One purple, please.
Gotcha. Crush.
I condemn you. Shudder.
Quietly now.
Got it. Rack and ruin.
Yeah, proceed the other ones to continue getting more. They don't give you many of these guys, huh? I assume you're above, like over here. Oh, I see you. I have an idea where the last one of these is.
There is no escape.
We will go do that
Beg for
soon.
mercy. Blood of frost.
It's fucking still. Yeah, I'll take that off for now because we've done enough for a minute. I want to head over here. Actually, this one would probably be better. Let me try and find this Hydrocolus first. No, that one. Oh, there it is. Alright, 8 left. Fuck you. Oh, come on. Yay, finally. Anyway, there's probably there's a passageway somewhere here. I think I can see it. Okay, now you're tied to something else. Get out of it. There we go.
chest full of valuables. And a
Got all the teleport waypoints, yay! And directed 6 Sealies. Okay, so we need to... Oh, I did find one of the Shrines of Depths. You get both of them from the... both the keys from the statue. There's none from the fountain. The first one is, like, here-ish. So I imagine the second one's in this space somewhere. We just haven't got to it yet. Not that we can get it yet, because we need to max up the statue. But if we can find it, that'd be nice. Hey, Mr. Bishop, what are you doing here? Oh, you're one of the mega dangerous enemies. Oh, you're one of, like, the supers, huh? Uh-oh. Like the local legend enemies, or whatever they're called. So you're going to be bulky as shit. This is why I wish I had built Arlecchino, because Arlecchino, with, like, a good setup, I've seen her one-shot like, insurmountable amount of bosses. It's insane.
Busted. Quietly now.
Take it easy.
There is no escape. Crush.
Need to break that shield.
Shine down.
Take it easy.
Shudder. Beg for mercy.
There we go. Jesus.
Here comes the catch. Torn to oblivion. Illusion shatter. Shudder. Freeze to the core. I condemn you.
Oh, not again. This is an annoying enemy because I don't have like a ranged elemental attack that is the element it is.
Gotcha. Shine down. Crush. Quietly now. Gotcha.
I mean, as long as I've got the electro charge off, I can just spam this at least, if nothing else. Because the electro boost will do the difference.
There is no escape. Busted. Shine down. Now you shall perish.
Die, please! There we go.
Take it easy.
Okay, 7 left. Hey, and here's the last page we needed. Well, new movement, quick, let's put it in the music box. That day, the never dark shall deepen, and black clouds shall gather. Blood shall fill the oceans, and earth shall turn to ash. This is the judgment foretold by Sibylla. We have filled the book. And now it really is just cleanup. What's our percentage on? 85%. Oof. Okay, way up here, somewhere on our level. Awesome. It takes 5 fucking minutes to reset them, so obviously we're going to be exploring in our own terms. We're not just going to rely on that. Alright, thanks, King. Alright, so it's below. Well, let me do this first and I'll head down. Dodge 30 fruits and reach the terminus of the ocean below. Okay. Well, you're given 8 mistakes for this. This is easy. What the fuck? Oh, fuck. And then I get hit by one. Oh, and there's one here. You in here, perchance? No, treasure chest is, though. You above? You know what this reminds me of? Is it in here? Oh, I just saw it. I think. No, it was the fish. It reminds me of actually the very first time I streamed Genshin. Like I'm talking before, like I was live streaming, like, you know, on the regular. Oh, I think I can see where it is. I did a stream back with 1.0 where I was searching for geocolors, and I just essentially just like wanted company whilst I was doing the grind. So streamed me getting it, and the whole stream was me just literally looking for geocolors, and that was it. It was like that for like 2 hours. It was really laid back. It was like kind of great, like cozy. It was back when before I was streaming full stop, like in general, in any sense of the word. Have I already done this? No, but I'm about to. Nice. I know I got distracted, but we're doing... This is the whole point. We're just doing this so we get all the hydrocolors and everything cleared out. The journey to 100%. And there's a lot I didn't do down here, where I ended up chatting away too much. And we still need to go up there and get that one. Ooh, lower. Thank you, Yelan. God, they're giving out these treasure chests like candy. Why can't every area be like this? They're right next to each other after fucking time. Alright, let's actually head up and get that one. So how many are we on? We got 5 left, right? We should have 4? Yeah, we have 4, so we need 5 left, and then we've got all the hydrocolors. Actually, no, 6 left, because you always have 1 more than you need. So you have 1 that's a carryover. We need 5 to max it out, but there's always 1 more than you need on the map, so you have 1 extra to keep with you. Hence why I have 1 Animo, 1 Geo, 1 Electro, and 1 Dendro. I nearly forgot about that. I would have left. Did we get you? We did. Okay. Alright, it said low down here, so let's keep low as we go around until it pops. I'm swapping the Furina, though, because she moves quicker and, you know, resources, everything else. You know the drill. I mean, we can do this first. Oh, I see it. What the heck? Speed! Oh, I'll wait for the next cycle. Nice. Ancient sea treasure. Alright, where does this put us? This one is over here. I need to get closer to the middle. On the mini-map, it will eventually tell us if we're above, below, or around the level of it. I see it. Come on, Furina, can't you swim a little bit quicker? I'm doing my best here! Alright, we're missing... We have 6. So we are technically missing 4 more. Like 3 more for the statue, but 4 more in total. So I will just poke around until I get lucky. The only reason why I haven't turned the commission is because I'm going to have Arlecchino in the party when I turn it in, so then I get all the friendship points for Arlie. Try to level up her friendship stuff quicker. Oh, I see a world thing we can do. Which is perfect when it's these ones, because they tend to move us around, so it'll put us into other spots. I can see another one over there. Let's try and remember where that is. It was like down here in the crevice. I can see it. There it is. But the thing is, I'm happy that the last area we get is so predominantly underwater, because it literally is. It literally feels like the celebration of like Fontaine's central mechanic. You know, before we then get to... I need to find a weapon because it's taking too long. Before we get to Natlan, and then we get that one's gimmick. Because we are kind of aware of what that one's gimmick's going to be. For those who are unaware, in the files for the game... there are mounts. Fucking lock onto the bomb! We don't need to specify how like Nat could be, but yeah, seemingly in Natlan we're going to get mounts. We're going to get the ability to ride beasts or ride something around the map. Instead of just running around ourselves. And that one I hope isn't just Natlan. I hope that one, like, once you get it, you can take for the rest of the world, because that one I can't imagine being a pain in the dick, the program. Making the entirety of Tevat able to explore underwater, that sounds insane. That sounds like way too much work. Being able to ride a mount around everywhere, though, that sounds sick. I really hope that's true. But we won't know for a little bit yet. I imagine it'll be around 4.7's release that we'll start hearing anything, really. We'll probably even get a tease, because that's what they did with... like, near the end of the 3 updates. I can't remember if it was 3.7 or 3.8, but one of them had, like, an actual tease of the fact that we'd be doing deep-sea diving and underwater gameplay in the trailers. Like, up until it, like, hinting at what was coming in Fontaine. And I remember people being kind of nervous about it when it was first teased, because people were like, oh god, what if it's bad? What, you know, do the underwater sections in games have such a history of being not great? But I genuinely, I said it, now that Fontaine's finished, I feel I can say it in more confidence. Fontaine is my favourite region, both in story and its world. I really thoroughly enjoyed the story, and the extra chapters we've been getting with the characters have been super fun. The main story was extremely, like, well done, very enthralling and just very fascinating. And the world is genuinely the most fun to explore. Sumeru, like, as I said before, Sumeru I struggled with after a while because it got so... Oh, we're back over here, okay. It got so puzzle heavy, and the desert wasn't interesting to me. Like, it was so consistent. New things in the desert, new thing in the desert, go to something else in the desert, you know? Still up above? How much higher do you want me to go? Can I go much higher? It's still saying up on the minimap. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Now we're on level. Is it over on this thing? I bet it's at the top of this. It's not. Okay. Where the hell is it then to be this high up? Oh, the beat? The music? Hello? Beats to vibe to? Hello? And that's the other thing, I genuinely love Fontaine's music. Like, if I had to, like, break them up individually, like battle themes, boss themes, area themes, like field themes, etc., I'm sure, like, some of them I would prefer over others. But I'd be lying if I said the complete package of Fontaine isn't, like, some of the best music in the game. So I'll turn it back down. Like, I'm sure, like, individually, like, yeah, I love... I prefer the boss themes in Inazuma over the boss themes in Fontaine. I love the EDM every time it's something other. I love that Genshin's established now that if it's otherworldly and doesn't belong in Teyvat, it'll have EDM in it. Because we had both the whale and that we had the whale get EDM'd whale calls, and then we had Arlecchino get EDM'd organs. And I love that to it, but I just kind of like the raw, like, energy and power that the Inazuman boss themes went for. What do we have down here? Oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. It's alright, just send me off. Oh, I can see the Hydra colors. I have to get that in a minute. Oh, okay, no, I don't have one of the... I never remember what all the symbols mean, but we don't have... we need either Shell Smash or Octopus Bomb. We need either the crab or the octopus. Oh, there's two here around here, huh? Okay. Let me get this one quick then before I forget. And it said there's one over here as well. Oh, I see it. Okay, we have enough to turn it into the statue, but we're still missing the very last one to have the extra. But let me go finish this. Oh, there's the Shell Smash, by the way. Where we're going to pick it up. Excuse me, lads. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, I was just sleeping here. That octopus was a kip, and I just came and beat the shit out of him. Oh, okay. Are you the last one I need? Yes. I assume last one, looking at the positioning and whatnot. Like, you're going to go there. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, am I missing something? What's taking it so long? They just take a minute to charge. Have we 100%ed this in terms of what this wants yet? No, we still need to find the other... I don't know where the other Shrine of Depths is at all. Oh, is this back in the entrance and I missed it? Interesting. Oh, not the entrance of that section. Yeah, I have no idea where that other Shrine of Depths is. I have to try and find it. I just walk back there and we can look around. Oh, fuck me. I was actually right there. It was under the fucking thing. Right, let's at least get the key, and then the last thing we can try and do is try and actually find that Shrine of Depths. But that's the last Hydra colors. Plus extra. It's also why my statue's standing and not sitting, because I've done enough for it. And I'm also going to get a gold trophy for this. Gold trophy, Fontaine, like water's clear. Ta-da! Fontaine's now 100%ed on the statue. And you always, like I said, you always keep one extra. And we got our shrine key. It also means, yeah, this Fontaine chapter is done. And we can finally, after like 8 or 9 months, claim the Judgment title card. The insignia of the new Hydro Archon, even without any legal notice, is understood that none dare use it without permission. I should really change my name card. I've had the one I've got on since 1.1. Because it was the 1.1 event name card. I should really change it at some point. Preferably something red. What's Arlecchino? Oh, Arlecchino's one's kind of nice. Oh, if you do Challenger 9, you get the whale that I'll tag for. You get the otherworldly whale. That's kind of cool. Right, Serena, my title card is Paimon. Fair. Mysterious Paimon card. Next, actually, this was for this was the Battle Pass reward for 1.1. So I've had this title card for well over 3 years. I'm sorry, the French Traveler Fair. Alright, before we go looking for that shrine, though, whilst we're here, where are you?
An insurmountable problem, I presume.
Now I'll take this, so then she gets all the friendship points for it. There we go. Yeah, look at that chunk on that friendship. She was at nothing a minute ago. Or nigh on nothing. Oh, the craziest thing I learned is that her charge attack doesn't touch the ground technically until she finishes the animation. So you can dance across the water doing this. Because she's technically not touching the floor. And I was just like, what? Why? Oh, I don't need the hydrocolor compass thing anymore, so I can take that off my quick select. Obviously, this is just cooler, but...
Add Astra. Thank you for...
Where is it? There it is. Looks hard. Are you ever in doubt? Of course they do. That crit rate's getting high. What do I need for the last one? I need another 21! I always forget. So I need to beat that boss potentially up to 10 times. How am I missing rainbow roses? Do I use it for something else? I know I should have it. Oh, fucking goddammit. I'll have to grind that up later. Oh, I've got a text. Thumbnails for vids and I got to take search back on. Now I let it fly. I rarely have safe search on. If something weird pops up, I'm like, well, I'll just keep scrolling. To be fair, I could make this Ali's off-piece. Just for now, until I get the rest of her stuff sorted. I'll do that, so she at least has a set. God, look at them. The crit rate and crit damage. And he's not even done, because the crit damage is going to get more of a boost, and I still need to rework a few things in our set. Because what I want to do, I want that to have a better crit rate boost, and I want that one to eventually be crit damage, but have crit rate as a substat. Which is why I haven't equipped this one. I'm going to unlock it though, because I will get rid of it. So then she has more leaning into crit damage, whilst at the same time not sacrificing crit rate too much, because it will hurt. But she's getting there. My demon queen. Imagine seeing that coming down the path. You would be terrified. You'd be like, oh god, the Grim Reaper's coming. It's also kind of funny seeing Ali like this. When she's in her super form, she's like a foot taller. When she's in her boss form. And this kid's just like, hi Grim Reaper, bye! I want to fight the Reaper. How are we doing on rolls, actually? Oh, that's literally the 5, huh? Hey, do you think I'm going to get a stray 1? Wouldn't that be funny? I will go back and look for that Shrine of Depth as well. We are missing the second shrine. I imagine it's going to be in the... Okay, no luck. We've got a few complaints for him. But yeah, if I go to like a flat piece of water, like a beach, that has enemies there. A beach that doesn't have enemies. Oh, that'll do. I'm sure Ali will be perfectly fine in a fight against enemies right now. It's just until she's fully built. I'm the same with every character. Until my character's completely built and I'm happy with them, I don't want to... I don't really want to get them out in the wild. I just want to show what I mean with the charge attack for people that don't know. That Arlecchino technically doesn't touch the ground when she's doing her charge attack. Ready? That's what I mean. She technically doesn't touch the ground when she's in her charge attack, so you can do it over the water. Also, if she's already slightly submerged, she rises to the top of it before she goes, which I find also kind of cool. And the reason why it does that, and the reason why it works like that, is because of the fact that her charge attack's also her glide. They don't want it to inadvertently interrupt this, which also should allow her to fly over water.
Yeah. Transfixed.
Oh, fuck Jesus Christ. She is not fully built for the record. Did you see how quickly that enemy died? Oh god, Arlie's still got her Bond of Life, so we need to get rid of that, but Jesus. But also, yeah, the whole time she has Bond of Life, all of her attacks, full stop, have Pyro. All of them. Which is why she's replacing Hu Tao, because it's literally that, and then she's got fire mode until I say she's done. And she's not even fully built. Imagine what she's going to be like when I'm done with her. In a not weird way, when I'm done with her. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird. So the only thing is that that Bond of Life, that red part of her bar, she can't heal right now. That's the trade-off. She's ungodly powerful, this absolute force of pure hell. She can't heal. Literally, if I heal, it just took off some of the Bond of Life. That's all it did. Right, anyway, the Sea of Bygone Era. Let's try and find that other Shrine of Depth. I have no idea where it is, but we can try and find it. I'm gonna try and we'll probably make that the last thing I do, because yesterday's stream was kind of long, and I'm not saying tomorrow's will be long either, because also it depends, but I do want to do a decent length stream to just showcase Library of Rona. Like I said, I'm not intending to do a full playthrough unless I really enjoy it. I more just want to do a stream showing it off. Showing the people why I think it's an interesting game and why I wish more people were aware of it. Right, if I was a Shrine of Depths, where would I be? For those of you that aren't that into Genshin, we're looking for like a small, I think it's hexagonal shaped structure that will have like a glowing blue door on every side of it. It won't be that big. It'll be about 3 times the height of our character. So like it'll be big, but it won't be big, which is why it might be hard to spot. Somewhere around 2 to 3 times our size. It's also why I've come high up to try and see if I can, like, because it will glow slightly, so I might be able to spot it from a distance. But whilst we're literally playing as, like, the closest thing we're probably going to get in Genshin to the Reaper, since one man you mentioned it, you'd have a few things to say with him. In all, like, obviously if it's going to get super dark and depressing, I won't push you, but what would be the one thing you would say to Death if you ever met him? Or it, or her, or whatever, or them. Whatever the incarnation of Death may be. I really hope if Death's real, it's the Death from Billy and Mandy. That is Grim from Grim Adventures Bill and Mandy, because that was like the best version of Death. That was hilarious. Just make him Jamaican. What, like, what? That was their solution. It's like, hey, let's just make him Jamaican. That's how we're doing it. I'm assuming it's on this side, because the previous one is That's the previous Shrine of Depths is like right there. Demon alive instead. You know, I could probably like. It depends on what like God you believe. That's not Death's choice. Obviously, it depends on what mythos and whatnot you believe. But a lot of them, Death is just a passenger. Like he's the one that takes you along. But I get that. I think we've all had a point like that where it's like, why is some like nasty bastard still around yet good people go? I can't say, like, think of it without immediately thinking of the fucking Filthy Frank meme, but, I'd be more interested in meeting God, but I would also be like, I would just go up to him and just go, why? And I'm just imagining fucking Luigi in the woods from that one Filthy Frank meme where he just goes, I have something to say to God. Why? If I can't find the Shrine of Depths after a while, I will just quickly Google it. Wasn't I new? Yeah, I hear you. It's a shame how that happens sometimes. Not just the death, but how like something like that can just change you in ways that you could never have imagined beforehand. Oh, hey guys, I need you out of here. The fight's over.
Something with which to commemorate this occasion.
The deadliest thing about Arlecchino is I managed to get her one more time off stream yesterday. This one is insane. Her C2 is genuinely insane. To give you the long story short, because there's a lot to read there, she does 900% damage when she's doing pyro. Like 900% of her damage. She's doing 9 times the amount she should be. All of her elemental resistance and physical resistance go up by 20% for the first 15 seconds after you get Pyro infusion. So for the first 15 seconds of this being active, she just has a 20% defense boost full stop. And most importantly, when you tag enemies with her R2, like tag them with Bond of Life, the Bond of Life is almost fully charged off the offset. So you don't have to hit enemies to build it up, then do it. You can literally just set it, charge attack, and Pyro's good to go. Arlecchino might genuinely be the new strongest character in the game. Like I said, obviously, the big trade-off is that she can't heal. She has this insane, unsurmountable, unchallengeable power, but she can't heal. So you have to use it. Like, if with great power comes great responsibility. That's literally what they're going for with the character. But the fact that you can just, you know, eviscerate, and that's only a C2. I am gonna do everything in my power to try and get some of these later ones. Because this one is kind of wild. When Arlecchino successfully absorbs a blood debt, the Balemoon Rising cooldown will decrease by 2 seconds, and she gets 15 elemental energy. That's her ult. So every time you do the charge attack to like start the pyro ignition on her, depending on how many enemies you hit, it will just fully restore her ult, her burst, and give you the cooldown. So if you only just used it, you can immediately use it again. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? And then also this one, her ult has an attack multiplier of 700% of her current Bond of Life percentage. And the Bond of Life is already getting stacked 9 times because of this. And after you use all as Ash, both her normal and elemental burst gain a 10% crit rate and a 70% crit damage boost. This effect can be triggered once every 15 seconds. Like, it's literally, if you get her to C6, I don't think anything in this game's a threat anymore. If you get a good artifact set. Like I said, I still need to finish her artifact set. Like, there's still some things I need to clean up. But if you, like, get an artifact set for her and get a few high rolls, she's your game clearer. Genuinely. You just have to be wary of the fact that she can't heal. So if you try and make her solve everything on her own, she will die eventually. And what's crazy is that in all the betas, people was like, oh, she might be too situational. Oh, she might not work out well. She might have, And then, like, it's just all that Doom posting, and what do you get? What's the actual final character? The most, like, derangedly overpowered character in the game. If you get all her constellations. If you don't, she's still really good, but you get my point. Also, I have no idea where this shrine is. A fully built Chino for Spiral Abyss. Yeah, I've seen a video already of someone with a fully built Chino going into Spiral Abyss, and she's on her own. Like, they have one team for one side, but the other side is just Ali on her own. And they literally go up, R2, circle charge attack, get the blood deck going, and then beat the shit out of it. And the enemy just dies. It doesn't matter if they're like 10 levels above them, they just die because they have it kitted so much. Or my favourite one, I have to see if I can find it and send it to you later, one man. I saw it on Twitter where someone ran up to an enemy, put the blood debt, did one charge attack, immediately did burst, and you can mind it was the level 100 enemies on floor 12 free. As soon as she pressed the button and the burst hit, it just came up saying, meanwhile on the other side. Like, it didn't even show the damage, it just insta-killed it, because the damage was that high, and I was just like, holy shit! But obviously, that's people that have, like, fully built and committed to the character, like, if you min-max everything sort of thing, but still. But it's just the fact that that's, like, they cooked. They really wanted to sell you on the fact that Arlecchino is, you know, one of the immortals, one of the most powerful beings, it's confirmed in lore now, I can actually show you where it says it, that she isn't a moon sister, she has the blood of a moon sister. Where is it? It's in Living Beings, you have to go to her boss entry. But she has the blood of a moon sister in her. Yeah. The ancient Baal moon blood flows within her fate, granting her all that the dynasty once had. The Baal moon is the Crimson Moon. The Baal moon's just the official name, but she literally has the blood of a moon sister in her. Which probably, like, that could even just be like an inheritance thing where, like, it cursed her blood, or it could be directly as in, like, she's an ancestor. But either way. Been pronouncing Skirk's name wrong. Oh, no worries. I always find it funny that Child is the boss I've beaten the most, 146, because I stopped fighting these guys because there's no character I have that uses their resources, so I stopped bothering. That said, something that's interesting and worth noting is that the resources you need for 4.7 aren't the Knave for the new characters coming in 4.7. They're finally doing what they should have been doing all along. Clorand uses Apep's resources. I can't remember if it's Siegeween or Cephos, but Siegeween, I think, uses Raiden's resources. Like, they're actually finally going back to older weekly bosses and adding more characters to them to give you a reason to go back and fight them more. So my footage is working together with Skirk. I'd believe it. To be honest, when you mentioned it yesterday, I knew who you meant. Even if you like pronounce it wrong, it's fine. I knew who you meant. I wouldn't be surprised if she is a Moon Sister as well. And I said, I am genuinely really curious if that is the only time we're going to fight Arlecchino, because that, to me, that ending cutscene where she reveals the moon and reveals her true power, and then literally just says to you, nah, bitch, you ain't cut out for this, you're not winning, makes me think that we are going to fight Arlie again at some point, whether as a story fight, or maybe she'll get another round as a weekly boss way later on. Because I'd be down for that. I'd be down for earlier weekly bosses, or just a weekly boss getting a rematch, just like a harder variant later on, like in the story. Like, I'm surprised we haven't had another boss fight against Child. They always keep on going about how we have to, like, settle the score and have, like, another rival match at some point, but that's never happened yet, you know? Skirk's the final boss. Skirk's power and physical aggression personified. True. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to very quickly, so I won't be able to see chat for a second, just Google where the Shrines of Depths are. Where the shrine I'm missing is. Yeah, that much I gathered. The game's like, oh, there's one in each bubble area. It's like, yeah, I know there's one in this area somewhere. Just where the fuck is it? Give me the map. It's... around here somewhere? I'm going to put that there for a second. Alright, now back to chat so I can see what you guys are saying. Now, unless a Moon Sister has domain over sheer physical aggression, I doubt Skirk is a Moon Sister. I hold the view Skirk has no element and is simply sheer power. I believe that. Or full and so physical. And despite having no element, Skirk is ungodly strong. My long-lasting theory is that they are eventually going to add one more element to this game. Well, element in quotes. I think they're going to add some form of abyss magic. Or a abyss character where, like... because ultimately, Dainsliff's existence is an... oh, I see that is there, the shrine. Is an abomination in the eyes of the Archons. Because he's from Kanria. He shouldn't exist. So why would he then have any of the Archon's powers? He would have his own, some form of something that he comes from. The Kanrians became part of the Abyss, so maybe some kind of like abyssal element. And if that's the case, I could believe Skirk having like something similar, where it's like her own form. Right, with that said and done, what percentage are we on? We're on 100%! Nice! So I'm back to full 100% in everything in this game. Does he have powers? Dane, it's... we don't know directly. It's implied that, like, you know, he was once, like, a ruler and had extreme might of some description, but God knows if he still does. But he also, at one point or another, stood up and fought against your sibling back in, like, 1.5. And the next time we saw him in the chasm, he was fine, so he clearly must be able to fight somewhat. We don't know if he has any form of power. I'm just saying, it would, like, that's like my thing, is that he might have some kind of abyssal form or abyssal power. And it would be a nice way to introduce it as an 8th element, to have that abyss. And the Abyss and Kanria's leaders, elementless and power up physicality. And I would be down for, like, if they did it right. Because the closest they've got is Eula, and even then, Eula's technically cryo. It's just that she barely uses it. Is like having a physical, dedicated character with like physical-based skills and physical-based, like, I mean, elemental burst is what it's called, so it'd be a bit awkward, but something that counts as a burst per se. Disappointing. The only reason why I'd be up for an abyss element is just because I'd love to see another element join the graph of, like, reactions and elemental consistencies, just to see, like how would, like, an abyss power react with fire? How would, like, an abyss power react with electric? You know, if I'm just theory making now. I'd love the idea of, like, the maths of this game expanding, like the chemistry professor bullshit of this game expanding even more. Because Dendro straight up was the buff to Electro. People have been saying for ages before, like, Dendro came out that, like, Electro's just missing that certain something. And then Dendro came out, and it's like, any Dendro-Electro reaction just eats enemies alive. And it's like, oh, there's the buff. And strong enemies have no elements to their strength. I do too. I think I'd be up for both. I'd be up for, like, some character in the future having some kind of abyssal tie. But equally, I'd be up for characters having no element and seeing how they handle that. Equally, however, they have to be careful because the whole, like, system of how this game works with its elements is the elemental reaction. Most of this game's battle systems are built off of the elemental reactions. Heck, it's literally tutorializing it right now at the bottom of the load screen. So it's like, if you have a character that's so deliberately alienated from that, it's like you have to be careful how you work them and how you balance them. Assuming they're made playable. If they're not playable and they're just bosses, then do whatever the fuck you want. Because how are you supposed to counteract an element if they have no element? If they're a boss fight, then fucking bring it on. Burst is just another physical stat. Oh! What I would be down for, and I don't know if they'd ever do it, is make the burst an alternate attack button for someone. Like, instead of it actually being a burst, just be like a secondary attack button that has like a different combo list and does different things. I want to see people do like full like they're not going to go full DMC because that's not Honkai Impact Third is if you want combos. But still. Also, changing subject slightly, whilst you put your force together, one man. Now I've got Arlecchino, and she's going to be in the main squad. I am aware that my entire main squad, and this wasn't my intention, I swear, are all tall women. All of my main team are all tall women. I'm like, that was not my intention. I know how it seems. Physical nature is in tune, yet opposition stack against elements. Like maybe a bloodline of people where they buff automatically when elements are used. But people like to win. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I think that'd be cool. My alternate idea is that maybe they could be like a neutralizer. Like, if they don't have an element, like, if you, like, use the equivalent of a skill or a burst, if they already have an element on them, it, like, locks them out of it. So, like, if they are, like, if, like, it's, like, I don't know, like a pyro whooper, like one of the pyro plant enemies, that you make it so they can't turn themselves on fire, because you neutralized it out. Or, like, if you're fighting in the rain, but you don't want enemies to have that Hydro affiliation on them, you can neutralize it off. Oh, this is an adrenaline spike. Yeah, that's, I get your thing. I mean, my whole thing with characters, just to get back to that quickly, is I just get the characters that I think look cool. I honestly don't care about meta, but the characters that are the coolest tend to actually be meta, so that's how it ends up looking. Like, Yelan is still one of the best support DPSs in the game. Raiden Shogun, she takes some work. For the love of God, she takes some work, but once you get her kitted out, she's an amazing support unit. Eula is my primary DPS. Do I have a C6? I do have a C6. But that was through reruns that I finally got that. The only trouble is that my team has no healing. Yelan doesn't heal for sure. Like, it's literally 2 support DPSs and 2 primary DPSs, and that's my team. That's my overworld team. Like, uh-oh. Strong characters in your mind reverse a spike to higher level temporary. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh yeah, in JP. In English, she's the same voice actress as Yuffie in 7 Remake and 7 Rebirth. What else has Susie Young done? Susie Young's done a lot, but nothing's coming to my mind right this second, and I feel bad. Because I'm usually good at remembering that sort of shit. Arlecchino's voice actress tends to always do more girly and like more like fluffy and like higher pitched voices. So her getting the role of Arlecchino and then giving this really strong, like convincingly deep voice is like, wow, she really broke away from like her typecasting her. Fucking Erin Yvette. Yeah, I know that's the JP one because we talked about that before. Also, I love that Arlecchino's normal attack is called Invitation to a Beheading. Like, bruh, calm it down. All is Ash. Bale Moon Rising is the ult. Agony alone may be repaid. Strength alone can defend. The Bale Moon alone may know. It's brusque. Is that how you pronounce it? Brusque? I know what the word is, but I don't know. I think that's the pronunciation. My favorite is the growls that you get when you use her charged attack, but I don't think you can bring it up. Yeah, duh! But you get some real little growls out of Arlie when you use her charge. You pronounce it nice, yeah.
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please. You wish to know more about me? Why, of course. Our relationship is one of mutual trust.
So usually her performances aren't this, like, strong, like, deep. Not strong as in, like, the others are bad. I mean as in, like, they're usually, like, softer and higher pitched.
Secrets can be sharper than a knife. Innocent curiosity can lead to dangerous places. I dislike complex seasonings.
Oh god, she's white.
Okay. Allowing the
she doesn't like complex seasonings, huh?
Flavor is also a way to respect their integrity.
Oh, her favorite food is barbecues? Oh, I love her already.
On occasion, we hold barbecue dinners at the house, and the children prepare the ingredients themselves. They enjoy participating in activities.
She looks like me when I'm in a very awful mood.
After all, it's always possible.
Oh, I want to see what her line is if you give her a bad gift.
From the crowd the next time a similar event rolls
That's what these three are. It's if you give her a good gift, give her an okay gift, or give her a terrible gift.
The intent is appreciated, but there is much room for improvement.
She sounded like she was about to be sick. Listen.
The taste is palatable. Perhaps the children will enjoy it. An impressive showing of culinary expertise. Perhaps you'd be interested in teaching a cooking class at the House of the Hearth?
Maybe we some suspension of disbelief. No, it's okay.
The children often make use of words and phrases from popular vernacular that are only...
She doesn't know the oh, that's funny. Arlecchino's not hip with the kids. She doesn't know the kids' slang.
Of course, children often need their own space, and I fully understand that.
Yeah, I'm reading.
In my free time, I enjoy observing insects in the forest.
Of course you do, Arlecchino.
The between them are fascinating. The way they hunt for food, compete with each other, even cooperate. Those that seem formidable aren't always the ones that make it until the end, and a single error can prove fatal. I observe their struggle as they near death, and slowly commit the image of their suffering to memory.
Arlecchino, Jesus Christ.
Like I do for those that fall by my own hand.
You... I don't know if video happens struggles, but yeah.
In my the Aurora in Snezhnaya is quite...
I really hope when we get to Snezhnaya, every night you can see the Aurora. With how much they've talked about it, it's like, I want the nights to be, like, beautiful. Not doing shit with me. Yeah.
Flames course through my body like blood. This may be nothing but a figure of speech to some, but for me, it's the harsh reality of my existence. Our ideals are not entirely aligned. If we are to work together, we must be willing to compromise. To that end, I'm willing to share certain secrets with you. Information that I choose not to reveal, however, is best left unexplored. For your own good, of course.
I said step aside in a sort of voice. It made it felt cold. you had your villain arc, is what you're saying. You'd step aside.
Time to retire for the night. Oh, can't sleep, you say?
This one's still my favorite. She's like, "How you need help sleeping? Well, I can't help you because my only solution is to kill you."
I have a certain suspicion my solution won't be to your liking.
Step aside.
It is said that whenever... Good morning. I would advise you to keep your secrets close to your chest. Divulge them too easily, and you never know where the wind might carry them. Something you wish to report? Go on. You have my undivided attention.
That's a dangerous sentence to say, because I felt it's like awakening me. I almost like straightened up my back when she said that.
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please. Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
I mean, yeah, when Lumine stared into her eyes, we saw the fucking Bale Moon. Right, I can't just stop, like, going around in circles and gushing. There's literally nothing else for us to do other than, like, a measly little side quest that I can't be bothered to, like, do on screen right now. I'll do it later. But that is going to be it for 4.6. And I'm happy. After, like, waiting nearly, like, I think it's been over 2 years now since Arlecchino was first, like, revealed in any form of capacity through the Midnight Lazo. I have been exceptionally excited to play this, because as soon as I saw the design, I was just like, oh, her. It was like, oh, her. And then we heard the murmurs she was going to be in Fontaine. Then we heard the third things that eventually she had a playable model, and we was like, oh, she's actually coming. So eventually, like, then hearing it's going to be 4.6, it's going to be tied to a weekly fast, and then everything. Like, the build-up to her, and then for her to be this good, and have a scythe, it's like... I think in her heart of hearts, if anyone was going to be Mother that would serve the role, like, to be alongside her, she would have preferred Clervy. But she also doesn't really like the name Mother, so she probably would have, like, made Clervy go by something else. Because that was part of the reason why she chose Father. It was in protest against her mother. So I don't think she'd like anyone being referred to as Mother around her, or especially if they're tied to her. She would just be like, no. My favourite thing, though, is that Clervy refers to her as a king instead of a queen, and I was like, that's just cool. Clervy being Arlecchino's queen, I think, is something that would be more apt and something that would be, like, a more fitting sentence to say. But the fact that Clervy refers to Arlie as Clervy's king. Clervy's gone, yeah. I mean, that's, like, the whole, like, part of the foundation of the ship between Arlecchino and Furina, of all people, is built on the fact that both of them are tied down by fate. Both of them have lost people they've loved. Both of them, at some point, have had to sit on a throne entirely alone, believing they would stay there for the rest of eternity. And so, like, it's a ship. The ship is built off of shared trauma. And for Arlecchino, well, it has been like 13 years since the death of... Like, at least 13 years, I should say, since the death of Clervy. So her moving on to someone is similar in her heart-shaped trauma. Well, Chino had it even worse, arguably, because she was forced to kill Clervy, knowing that it was what Clervy ultimately wanted as well. She essentially gave Clervy an assisted suicide. Because the only freedom Clervy would ever have in her life was the freedom of when she decided when to end it. So she had Arlie end it. It just ended up being the necessary step to give Arlie the emotion and power to stand up to her mother properly and then eventually win and kill her. Which is wild, because Arlie spends so much time saying don't give in to your anger, don't give in to your sadness, and all that stuff in her quest. She literally has her position of power because she did both of them. Her desire to kill Krukabena was fueled by pure sorrow and rage that she had to kill Clervy. So I know, like, it's probably more like she just doesn't want anyone to repeat her mistakes. But it's just interesting. Oh, also, if you don't have, whilst it's on my mind, yeah. If you don't have Arlie's signature weapon, you will instead get a glowing outline on the weapon of where the scythe would be, so you can still see where the impact is, so to speak. Like, it'll be like an orange glow around where it should be. It's only if you have her actual weapon, it then becomes the proper scythe. It's also funny that, like, when Arlecchino killed her mother, she did so using a short sword. And it's like, she like did all that with the short sword, and then what she do? Went and learned how to wield a fucking scythe instead. She just like, it's like, okay, you became like the ultimate swordswoman and managed to kill the previous knave, replacing her. And so what did you do? Learn a new weapon. But I digress. I've waffled on enough now. I'll go back to my teapot, and then I will actually wrap it up. Actually, you know what the last thing I can be that I can show very quickly? Obviously, I don't have all the dialogue, so I'm not close enough. I can show you what Arlecchino says when you invite her into your house and when you talk to her.
If you ever...
more, Waffle House. I have to remember where I put her. I think I put her in the lab. Yes, I did.
It's my turn to play the guest, I see. A novel turn of events. I shall follow your lead and play the good visitor.
Good morning, Arlecchino.
And to you. Ah, yes. Before turning in for the night, I noticed some corners of the realm that had not been cleaned for some time.
Is she telling me I don't dust my room?
You should see to that, once the opportunity presents itself.
Bruh. I think this will count as good evening if I then do this.
It's my turn. I shall follow you.
God damn it! I want to show you the evening one. Let me leave that. Let me leave the house and then re-enter it so it resets.
Take it easy.
I do like that. And then I'll do the other dialogue. There's more dialogue being unlocked, but I'm not close enough with her.
Follow your...
What would you say at good night?
Indeed,
good night, Arlecchino.
I was getting ready to retire myself. An early night is a balm for exhaustion, and presages a productive tomorrow.
Oh, she doesn't tell me off this time, huh?
It's my turn to play.
Doesn't say, oh, make sure you make your bed in the morning. How do you like it here?
Thank you for inviting me to this realm. This has proved a fine vacation spot. Is a transfer of ownership on the cards by any chance?
Huh? You want to buy the Serenity Pod?
No need to startle. This is a quiet and secure location, shielded from outside disturbances. It would make for a good backup base.
You know, she's not wrong.
Any object that could solve many problems is worth paying a fair price for.
Sorry to disappoint, but it's not for sale.
An unfortunate answer, but not.
If you want one, you need to go talk to Madam Ping in Liyue and be like, hey, can I have a teapot house? And maybe she'll let it slide. You might have to do this whole side quest with Yanfei though, but don't worry about it.
This resembles a home more than it does a base. Let us keep
and just play Ace Attorney for a hot minute. Do you know, anyone remember that? The fucking Yanfei quest? Just to get the teapot, and it was like, discount Ace Attorney. Speaking of home...
Is something the matter?
Want to hold a family barbecue? All the children of the House of Herf are welcome to come.
A fine suggestion. This place is sufficiently large for a family gathering. The children will be glad to have the chance to visit and play at a friend's place. It is agreed, then. As for the costs of this gathering, simply leave it to me.
Oh, she's gonna, like, pay for all the food? Hell yeah, we're gonna have a barbecue with Arlecchino in the House of the Hearth? I mean, we're not, it's just flavor text in the friendship mode, but in my head canon, I'm gonna believe that actually went down. I mean, I've already got one of the kids here. Lynette, sorry, is chilling here. Furina's hiding with Kirara. Make a visual novel here. Daya and Shenyun I have over here because I had to put them somewhere. And our resident cook is Navia. This is my kitchen. Our resident cook is Navia.
Oh, hello. This place is seriously cool. So, you and Paimon have this whole space to yourselves? It must feel a little empty sometimes. Maybe I should come and hang out more often.
Don't worry, I'm going to get your girlfriend soon. Oh, I haven't actually done this one. What do you want to do?
Let's do something together. We could go on a hike, climb some trees, pet some cats, walk some puppies. I'm honestly down with whatever.
Sure you can climb trees in that dress?
You'd better believe it. There might be quite a bit of skirt in the back, but it's not restricting. I made sure of that before I bought it. I specifically asked the designer to make some alterations so I could maintain freedom of movement.
Have you ever had any pets?
I had a dog once, many, many years ago. But after she
Been
passed
bait.
away from
Yeah,
an
next
illness,
update, when Cloran comes
never
out, I am
got
going to try
another.
and get Cloran for no other reason other than making sure, like, Cloran and Navia can stay together.
My papa named her Shelley. There wasn't
Oh, you had a
any
dog called
special
Shelley?
meaning to the name. We just happened to find her right after coming back from a trip to the seaside. I loved that dog.
She's just free-spirited.
We'd go out together
Despite
all the
everything, she is
time, and
super
she'd take me on
free-spirited, and that's why I
adventures
love
through the
Navia
abandoned
so much.
pipes.
She's been through
She's
so much,
really
yet she still
smart that
smiles.
way.
I mean, do you remember that bit in 4.4 where she goes to the, like, to the top of the mountain in Leeway and just shouts from the top of the mountain, "Good morning, world, sunshine," and smiles? Like, she just faces the world with a smile regardless of what comes her way. You must miss her a lot.
Definitely. Sometimes I have dreams where we're playing
I
together.
mean, I don't go to the top of mountains and shout
I
sunshine.
usually get over it pretty quickly once I wake up. I'm sure Shelley wouldn't want me to live in the past. She'd want me to move forward with my life and make more good friends.
Can I call you one of my good friends?
Please. We crossed that bridge a long time ago.
Aw.
Why would I ask to hang out with you here if we weren't already great friends? Anyway, as your great friend, how about I bake a cake that has
No,
all
but I
of
will
our
convince you
names on
to.
it? You, me, and Paimon. And bring it here for all of us to share. Something tells me that Paimon would really enjoy that. So I'm willing to spoil her, just this once.
Cute. But yeah, if anyone's ever been curious what my pot looks like, this pot hasn't been edited like once in years. I did enough to get all the rewards. That's my storage room that got me enough points to get me over the hood. I have 2 cats. This is my room because I treated it like I was playing The Sims. So that's the kitchen. That's like when you come in, you have to go here and speak to Dare. Then upstairs, I have all my artworks and whatnot. Paimon's here. Then I have all of my hangout event artwork, my favorite ones that I have on the walls going around the corner. It used to just be this wall, and then we did way more hangout events, so I had to like think it through. So like I have like Lynette's one there. I have Carve, my boy Carve up top there. I have taking a nap with Layla. I have... Oh, I could just do this. The Ningguan one. I love this one. Brought together by common interest. Just seeing her, like, let the guard down a little bit. Faruzan being cool.
Traveler,
No, fuck. No, shit. I didn't mean to talk to you. Good night, Paimon.
Don't worry.
Anyway, I digress. I'm leaving. Yeah, no, we're done. There's nothing else for me to really do. So I will wrap this up here. So tomorrow I plan to stream Library of Ruiner. I will let you know if anything changes because it is a little pricey. But it's not pricey. It's just more than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be like £15 to £16, not double that. But I will let you know if anything changes. If so, if it does change, I'll just do more Caligula tomorrow. But like I said, I'll let you guys know what happens. But that's it for 4.6, at least from my influence for it. There's still one more quest, but I'm not going to worry about that because that's in 3 weeks' time. And in 3 weeks' time, we'll be in the middle of Star Rail 2.2, so yeah. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. Additionally, you can find my Twitter, my Patreon, and my PayPal in the description of every single video. But until then, you guys take care now.
Witness
Peace.
my